Hello, OW Awesome 2014. 2014 was a simpler time. Also, I'm assuming that you guys can hear me, right? Hang on. Let me check. Opam Gangnam Style. Um, I don't know what that is, but thank you, Avis, for coming. Also, I'm joking. I obviously know what that is. So, how are you all doing? Have you guys gotten laid recently? Because you know I have. Wait, no, because you know I have. Fuck it. I misspelled it. Not even misspelled it. I just misworded. Also, um, OW Awesome 2014. I recognize that AVI. Have we interacted before? Because I do. I do remember someone having this exact one. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Y'all always with the Misa or Mikasa or whatever the fuck her name was in Railgun. Yeah, that's just my default. That's like my default stream background. There's nothing really deeper than that. Yeah. So, have you guys been following the whole Steven Hillenberg thing with Pie Guy? It's been pretty interesting. I actually have a couple of interesting opinions on that whole situation. Um, right now, I'm wondering how many people will come. Probably not that many. These streams usually don't get that many viewers in specific. But I guess before, yeah, I've been following. Make a video. Ah, I don't. I mean, I kind of already made a video on that situation, but it's like several months, several months old. And now, like, my opinions haven't really changed since then. The only difference is that back then, I was willing to believe that Steven Hillenberg knew about the project. I just didn't really care that much because I didn't think it was that important. But with the video I saw from Pie Guy, I'm actually a lot more inclined to believe that he didn't know. Like before, I was like, who knows? Maybe he knew. Maybe someone told him, But now I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure. I'm actually more inclined to believe. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna talk about it right now because maybe I'll even like clip this and upload it on my second channel. Here's the thing about this whole situation. This is just my opinion. I generally, for the most part, never really cared that much about the fact that Steven Hillenberg knew or didn't know. And the reason why is because my issue always came from the fact that all of these like SpongeBob projects were obviously a result of but Vincent Wallace said he knew. That's the thing though. Vincent Wallace said that he doesn't actually remember a lot about these events. I'll get to that by the way. Like I I actually have some interesting opinions on Vincent Wallace, but whatever. Um like I said, for the most part, I never really cared because even if like regardless if he knew or not, I know for a fact that all of these projects were a result of some executive on Nickelodeon wanting this to happen. And with that Pie Guy video, with that Pie Guy video, I further confirmed this because one of the like the presidents of Nickelodeon or whatever, someone working there, he basically said that his vision was to expand on the Nickelodeon, not Nickelodeon, the SpongeBob universe, kind of like MCU or whatever. So yeah, this is obviously an executive decision, and I can't envision any creator being okay with these kinds of things. Like I can understand. I've already watched Blame It on George's video actually. Um, I watch every video Blame It on George releases. That dude's a fucking legend. But fun fact, I've been following that dude for a long time. But anyway, yeah, like I said, like I can't imagine any creator being okay with their inventions being taken on this direction. And I mean, Hillenberg himself already confirmed like years ago in interviews that he didn't really see any spin-offs happening. And apparently there's another interview where Paul Tibbet said that he had like a conversation with Steven Hillenberg and they were like, yeah, the moment Nickelodeon starts to make like SpongeBob babies, that's when I'm out. Like It's obvious that this is not something he would have wanted. This is just happening because Nickelodeon wants more money. And to me, that has always been like my problem. To me, it really doesn't matter if he's dead or not, or if they waited until he died or not. That stuff is just, at least at the time, I just thought it was kind of superficial. My philosophy has always kind of been, regardless of whether or not it's disrespect, it's still a cash cow nonetheless. Yeah, I completely agree. That's exactly my opinion. And yeah, like that has always been the perspective I came from, which is why it's really weird whenever I see people defending Nickelodeon. It's like, come on, guys, these motherfuckers have been milking on these guys have been just milking the shit out of SpongeBob for decades. Like it's been like 2 decades, dude. Like, do you guys really want to defend them at this point? Like, come on, admit that they're greedy. Like, this is not something that should be discussed. They're obviously greedy. They obviously see SpongeBob as a product for making money. And I mean, if you're okay with that, then fucking whatever, dude. But if someone calls them out for being greedy, like, you should accept it, you know? But anyway, but with the Pie Guy video, I'm actually more inclined to believe that he didn't know because of the timeline of events. And here's the thing. For a while, I didn't really want to discredit any of the animators working on it because I never really had any reason to believe that they would lie, you know? But turns out there actually was an animator that fully admitted that he actually lied. Like, people have been criticizing Cartoon Network for 13 years because of stupid shit. Yeah, although, you know, I was going to say that Cartoon Network is in a better spot than Nickelodeon, but I'm not sure if that's actually true. So, Pie Guy, our video is pointless. Our video, which one in specific? Are you talking about the SpongeBob reviews? I actually never seen any of those reviews, to be honest. I never really care that much. I don't even really watch SpongeBob, to be honest. But thanks for coming, Hollow Man. I honestly wish we would talk more, because I think we would have some interesting conversations about Ryuga Gotoku. But anyway, what I was saying. Oh yeah. I was saying that for the longest time I never really had any reason to believe that, you know, the animators would lie, but one of the animators admitted that they did lie. They lied about the fact that Steven Hillenburg, I don't know if he lied about him working or knowing about it, but he lied about something. He basically clarified later that he twist reality a little bit just because he was getting a lot of harassment. He kind of wanted people to shut the fuck up, but in reality, he doesn't actually know if he knew or not. And as for Vincent Waller, the thing is, he said that Steven Hillenburg knew. I think it was like hours after Pie Guy released his video, but then the next day he said that his memories of that period is a little bit hazy because of trauma and whatever. Which, I mean, fine, whatever. Like, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But here's the thing. Like, right now, he basically backpedals a little bit. Like, he doesn't want to say that it's, like, concrete. And I don't know if he's doing... Like, I don't know if he's lying. Like, I don't know if he's, like, bullshitting his way out of, you know, because he wants the reputation to die down. But what I will say is that any statement that animators make at this point, I'm very skeptical. Like, I'm extremely fucking skeptical, especially because Vincent Waller, in the past, he said that Steven Hillenburg was happy with what they were doing. And he said that in response to a tweet talking about Camp Coral. So I've always assumed that when he said that, he was specifically referring to Camp Coral, which meant that he was a little bit involved in the production. But this recent tweet, he basically said that Steven Hillenburg never actually saw the final product, and if he did, then he would like it. Now, maybe when he said final product, he was like being literal in the sense that he wasn't necessarily saying that he never saw any of the production design or anything. But if this tweet is trying to say that Steven Hillenburg didn't even really have much of a chance to look at what they were doing, and based on Pie Guy's timeline of events, like during the period when Camp Kroll would have been developed or something, it's very likely that Steven Hillenburg wouldn't even be stable enough to go to the office. So how would he know about everything going on with Camp Coral. Like, if we're assuming that it was even in production at that time, it was probably a lot later. We're just giving them the benefit of the doubt. And it's like, should I really trust what Vincent Waller says? Because honestly, I don't. I don't trust what any of these guys say. Now, again, like I said, I don't care at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter that much. But what I do know is that I'm a little more inclined to believe that they. I don't know if wait is the right word. I'm just saying that I don't think he knew. I'm. I honestly, God, don't think that Hillenburg knew. I don't know if he would be okay with it. That Gumball story is true. Wait, hang on. I don't know if he would be okay with it. With if that Gumball story. Gumball? Almost said Stephen Hill. Oh, fucking. I don't know. Fuck it. If I pronounce his name wrong, I do not apologize because I'm actually retarded. So everything I say, I don't have to hold. I don't have to hold. I don't have to hold myself responsible for anything I said because I had a 0 on math test. Not really. I don't think I've ever had a 0. Honestly, it's been like a long time since I've even had like a negative score on a math test. Like way long. Assuming I even had one in the first place. I don't know. Maybe I never had. But yeah, those are my opinions on the whole Steven Hillenburg shit. I don't believe that he knew anymore. I don't. And I know Pie Guy at this point, he's not going to, he's not going to make any statements about what Steven Hillenburg would have known. Not whether or not he would have known, but whether or not he would be okay with it. And I mean, I can respect that, but I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. He would not like it. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. Like, there's no fucking way any creator would be okay with their creation being milked like this. There's no way. So what Hollow Man is referring to is a story where Steven Hillenburg found a SpongeBob Gumball machine and had an existential crisis, realizing how big the show is. Oh, okay. All right, that's interesting, I guess. Business companies are stupid. Um, hmm. I wish I could say that. Although Viacom and Nickelodeon are making a lot of money, so I mean, I hate them, but I don't know if they're stupid. I hate almost every big corporation, to be honest. Disney is probably the one I hate the most. I don't think I hate Viacom as much as Disney because I legit think that Disney is evil. Like, I'm really glad that you guys brought up what's his name? Blame It on Jordan. Have you guys seen that video on who's that motherfucker? That pedophile. Sorry, alleged pedophile. He might not actually be. I forgot. Dan Schneider. Have you guys seen that video? Like, okay, I don't like. Okay, this might seem hypocritical because I called him a pedophile, but whatever. I don't want to go ahead and say that he is because I don't like throwing inflammatory statements. Yes, the feet guy, exactly him. I don't like going around calling people. I was going to say the P word, but I already said pedophile, so fuck it. YouTube can demonetize me all I want. I don't give a fuck. This is just a stream. I don't even want to make money off of this, but anyway, I don't want to go ahead and call him a pedophile, although there are definitely a lot of allegations. And Mr. Enter made a video on why he won't review Camp Coral. I remember that video, actually. It came out almost around the same time Pie Guy released this video. But like, yeah. I don't know if he's a pedophile. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I don't know. But what I do know is that he was acquainted with someone who is confirmed to be a pedophile. And he was acquainted with him. And this dude, like, what happened was he was caught with possession of like child pornography. And I think it was even confirmed that he straight up molested someone. And after he served his sentence, the motherfucker went back to business. He like worked on like I think it was like Zack and Cody or something like that. Like, what the fuck? Like, this dude is confirmed to be a pedophile and he's working on children's shows. Like, come on. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's also like really fucked up, dude. Like these are the corporations that I'm supposed to like. Am I supposed to give the benefit of the doubt? There's no what? Trust me, dude. This dude, like, okay. Um, I would give you the name, but I would have to like open the video and no, it really did happen. You should watch Blame It on George's video on Dan Schneider. That shit actually did happen. Like there is a guy who was confirmed to be like a child molester and in possession of child pornography, and after he served his sentence, he went back to business. Like the only restrictions they gave to him is that he's not allowed to make any contact with children, but he can work in those companies that work with children. Like they have shows where they legit work with children, and he's allowed to work there. Like what the fuck? We already have cartoon familiar to camping, and that's Camp Lazlo. Camp Lazlo is a good show. I actually do recommend that. I liked it when I was a kid. Maybe I'll like it today. But like, yeah, this topic is very interesting because it legit surprises. Camp Curl's better than Camp Lazlo. I mean, it's not out yet, so I don't know how you can jump to that conclusion yet. But yeah, like I don't know. I think it's really interesting how people will like people are very quick to defend these corporations. I'm like, you do realize that these corporations are evil, right? Like I know you guys like grew up with Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, whatever. Like, and it's fine. You know, you can be thankful for the fact that I saw the preview of Camp Kroll. Yeah, I also saw the preview of Camp Kroll, and it looked really bad. There are a lot of like blatantly pre-rendered like scenes. Like, come on. But like, yeah. There's the short. What short in specific? Did they release a short? I am not aware of, but but like yeah, I don't understand why people are so quick to defend. Like yeah, they were like fine. Like it's fine to be grateful for the fact that you grew up with SpongeBob or Jimmy Neutron, whatever. Like it's fine to be appreciative of the fact that Nickelodeon and whatever provided a platform for these cartoons that you now love. Like that's fine, but like you don't have to defend them when they're being shitty. Like they don't love us. They love our money, but they don't love us. So I don't know. Like I don't know why you guys think like you owe the benefit of the doubt. Like you really don't owe them anything. Like you guys deserve better than that. Like come on, don't be simps. Why the fuck is the CG so bad in that show? It's a SpongeBob spinoff, Nick's biggest property. I mean, I know the answer for why, but I mean, isn't it a little bit obvious? I'm urging you to leave. Nick only loves your money. Yes, they only love our money. Okay, should I think I should have already started the test, so I'm gonna change screens to which by the way, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I did not study for katakana at all. I did study for Japanese these 2 weeks, but just not katakana in specific. So my test results are probably gonna be about as bad as before. But I mean, I guess that will make me write more, so maybe it's a good thing. Because I mean, my objective is to kind of learn everything naturally. Like I don't want to treat this like it's like some kind of academic test where I have to like study the day before and like memorize everything. Like that's not really my objective. Like these tests are really meant to show how much progress I've made naturally. I don't want to treat this like school, so maybe it is for the best if I didn't study that hard. But I mean, I should study anyway. Like, katakana is a pretty important thing to learn. Like, I've recently been trying to read, more tweets from VTubers, and sometimes they use katakana, and I get really confused. I mean, kanji, like there's it's just whatever. But katakana, like I can still learn that. Like, it shouldn't be that hard. I should be able to learn it pretty quickly. But anyway, let me just switch the screens. Which one is it? I think it's this one. It is it? Is it this one? No, 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 it's the wrong one. No, wait a minute, no, 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 hang on. Okay, here we go. Here you go. Wait, these are pretty old. Hang on, never mind. Okay. Let me start that goddamn. Oh, what's this? Did I accidentally start? How do I? Hang on. Yes, that's right. I opened an illegal site. I'm watching anime illegally. You can sue me all you want. This is the first time you guys have learned that I use illegal sites to watch anime. Like that's definitely news. None of you actually knew that. Anyway, hang on, let me just confirm something. Yes! Finally! Finally! The Claude is here. Just dropping in to say hi in the middle of me watching Kuroko no Basket is actually really good. I'm really glad that you're watching that, as a matter of fact. Please enter your email. Back at it again with this bullshit. Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. Anyway, this one, I saw that before. Like, I actually saw this exact character before. But I'm gonna get it wrong anyway. It's sad. I also saw this exact one before, but I think I read it. Hang on. I think I remember it being Moo. Is it Moo? Wait, was it Moo or New? I don't know. It's one of them. Oh fuck! I also saw this exact one recently. Fuck. Uh, I know it's not Fu. Fu is something else. Which one was it again? Fuck. And this is gonna haunt me forever. Fuck it. Hang on. She two. Yeah, it's two. Okay, I just had to remember the order of the. You know what? Which direction it was in. This one. Hang on. This one. Is it? Is it he? Was it he? Am I confusing it with something else? I think it's he. I don't know. This one. Is it O? I think it's O. Um, Hang on. What's you again? E U. It's not Fu. Wait, is it? Wait, no, it's not Fu. It's something else. Fuck it. Okay, this one is. Wait, is it this one? Fuck, got him. I think it's. I think this is the one that's you. Whatever. Um, I once made this mistake. No, it wasn't actually this. It was something else. But okay, this one I know is Fu. This one. Oh fuck! I remember this one. Maybe this is the one that's O. This is O, right? I think this. I think this one is. Wait, I'm trying my best to remember it. Yeah, I think this is the one that's O. I don't know. Uh, this one. Hang on. I know it. 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 It's not these two. I know it's one of these two. Wild guess. Um. Um. Okay, this one is This one at least. This one at least I know. Uh. This one's E. I'm not even gonna try to guess. Oh fuck! I've seen this. Is it? Is it? I think it's no. Wait, hang on. The it's. I think it's one of these two. Just don't remember exactly which. Maybe I think it's Ni. I don't know. I'm not even gonna bother trying to remember that. No, wait, I don't think it's Ya. What? Actually, wait, hang on. It might actually be. Might actually, fuck it. I'll get as many of this wrong until I eventually learn it. This one is Mo. It looks pretty identical to Mo from Hiragana. Not exactly. I mean, there are some characters that look way more identical than that. Anyway, I should be ready for the insults. Hang on. Just no, please. Lol, greetings, Kyodai. Yes. Claude's fucking here. Some asshole disliked the stream. I don't give a fuck. It's gonna get unlisted anyway, so whoever decides to dislike it doesn't matter. Anyway, Avis. I know I got a couple of things wrong, but I'm surprised you didn't insult me. Maybe you're being nice today. Anyway, how many points did I get? 60 points! What the fuck? I got way more than I thought. And I was just spitballing. Maybe one of these are wrong. Hang on. Shit. So this is nah, apparently. Yeah, it is. Moo. Yep, it's Moo. I was right. Ke. Yep, it's Ke. This is she? Yeah, it is. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Ah, damn it. I confused it. He. Hang on. He. Alright. Whole. Alright. New. Okay. Oh, it's Sue. Yeah, it's Sue. I remember now. I actually read a word that was in katakana. And yeah, this one is Sue. I remember. I don't remember exactly what was the word. It was. Hang on. But yeah, this one is S. I can't believe I forgot. Damn. Yeah, this one's Fu. I knew that. O. Alright. Ru. Hang on. Ru. Yeah, it's Ru. I was right. I was wrong here. I was wrong here. I was right here. I was right here. I was. Oh, it's no. Okay, all right. Ah, yeah, it was knee, so I was right here. Wrong here. Wrong here. No, it was correct, not wrong. And correct here. Anyway, let me check the chat. Coffee. Oh, wait, I already wrote. No, I'm not the one that insults you for being bad at Japanese. That's Doggo. Well, I mean, if no one's gonna insult me, then who the fuck will? Like, Doggo's not here yet, so what am I? I need someone to insult me. If no one insults me, then I'm not gonna get better. Like, come on. Isn't this how? Isn't this how education works? Shouldn't you have someone to insult you and call you stupid for like getting everything wrong? But anyway, I got 60 points, so that's that. Let me get to Hiragana now. Hiragana should be the easiest, obviously. Anyway, let's get this one. Let's get this one over with. If I get one wrong, then that's when I'm really, like, really dumb. Like, that's when you know that I'm truly just gone. Like, there's no hope in humanity if I get one wrong. Oh. You know, I always get To and Yo confused sometimes. It happens sometimes because there are some similarities between them. I mean, actually, there aren't that many similarities. It's just that I don't know. I kind of see them as very very similarly written. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Can't avoid it. Man, I really want to learn how to. Wait a minute. Nani nu no. Okay. I really want to learn how to read Japanese quickly because I accidentally set an expectation for some of my parental figures that if we were to ever hang on, this one I actually need to concentrate a little bit. Hang on. Here's am, me, and new. All right, it's new. Some words I actually do have to think a little bit harder. But anyway, I now saw an expectation from my parents that if we are to ever travel to Japan, I have to be their guide. So yeah, I don't know what I was. Anyway, this is Sue. Yeah, it's Sue. So yeah, I really gotta learn now. Like before, I just wanted to learn Japanese because I wanted to pay attention to virtual streamers on YouTube. But now I want to learn how to read Japanese so that I can be the guide. Uh, cause wouldn't that be cool? Pretty sure it'd be really cool if I was like the guy. Cause usually whenever I travel with my family, like there's always someone who has like the map and maybe has a little bit more experience in whatever country we're in, and they're the ones that usually orient everybody. But if we were in Japan, I know more about Japan than it. No, wait, hang on. I think my dad might know more about Japan than me just because he knows someone who lived there, and I think he also once traveled there. But I don't know. I might have to ask him because I don't know if he's ever been to Japan. If he has, that would actually be interesting. I mean, come on. I really want to. Like, it fucking sucks that I still haven't gone to Japan, you know? I really want to go there. I think this one is no. Submit email. Anyway, give me my 100%. It's 100%, right? I did not get anything wrong, right? Yeah, it's 100%. Fuck, that was a bad expectation to set. What website is this? I'll link you the website if you want. Uh, hang on. This is the one. If you ever want to visit, it would be very easy for you to read English sub anime. Yeah, that is true. Uh, I actually don't even really mind reading subtitles, although I do kind of wish, like, okay, if there's one genre that I really wish I knew Japanese, so I never had to rely on subtitles ever again, it's like slice of life shows with like with like cute anime girls. The ones with like the four girls cast. Those really comfy ones. Those are the ones that I really like. I'm the most desperate to learn Japanese because I don't want to read when I'm supposed to feel like comfortable and stuff. Like I just want to lay down and just relax and look at the screen or not look at the screen. God, they're so cute. Yes, they are, and I'm really glad you've converted to the. I mean, might be a controversial thing to say, but it's the best religion out there. Like, yeah, I'm really glad that you enjoy K-On! Like, I remember that one time you like sent me a message and you were like, uh, I just finished K-On! That shit's like, what did you say? I think you said that shit was epic, and I was like, yes, yes, yeah, K-On! Without subs is epic. God, yeah, you don't actually need subs. By the way, do you actually watch it on like any site, or you just download torrents? Because that's probably what I would do, honestly. That's a reason, I guess. Yeah, it's a. I mean, my reasons are even dumber than that, but okay. I just want to know what Hitomi is saying. Eh, you know. Oh yeah, I remember something. There's actually another reason why I wanna learn Japanese because whenever I watch Shaft shows, especially the ones from like the 2000s, where there's a lot of ling- um like I think of something like Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, where sometimes they'll like add jokes on like the school board, something like that. I want to read all that stuff without having to pause and then grab my notebook so that I can translate. Actually, maybe at this point I might not even need my notebook, but it depends on how it's written. I used to torrent a lot, but now I mostly just use Netflix. Oh, okay. I mean, to be honest, I'm in the same position. I don't really torrent that much recently. Mostly because a lot of the torrent sites that I rely on are just down. So I have to like find new ones. And also, back when I used to use torrent the most, I would download movies and stuff, like fairly popular movies that shouldn't really be that hard to find active torrents on. But once I started to get more into like watching cartoons more and stuff, it became a lot harder to find active torrents, and I started to rely on a lot less. And like, especially when you can just go to a site and just watch it, you know. Honestly, I just got tired of waiting for things to download. Me too, and for me, it was a lot worse because the internet I had at the time was definitely a lot slower than I have now. I think if I try to download most of the things I did back then, I think I'm pretty sure they would like download pretty quickly, relatively speaking. But I mean, I'm just imagining like I think of that one time I downloaded that like 14 gigabyte like torrent of all of the episodes of Billy and Mandy. I can't imagine downloading that on like back in my home country. It would take forever. Yeah, yeah, it'd be a pain. Yeah, it'd be a huge pain in the ass. It is what it is. There was a time when internet wasn't always there for me, but then once it did, it became marvelous. Became the best thing that ever happened to me. Because almost everything about me is is somewhat influenced on the internet. Like, I ever got that feeling that you feel like a 4 channel even though you've never been there? That's pretty much me. So yeah. Hmm. Oh yeah. By the way, I got 100%. I guess so. If that's any relevant. I actually have all of the episodes of DBZ and DB on my external hard drive. Took fucking forever. Yeah, it should definitely take a lot. Hang on. How many episodes are there of Dragon Ball? Everything in total because um I know the manga is like 600 or something chapters. Is that it? Am I getting it wrong? Uh Otsukare. Thank you. I mean it's hiragana, like come on. It shouldn't really like there's no reason for why I should get less than 100% with hiragana, honestly. It's katakana that I deserve a little bit of pat on the head for every little even if I guess I still deserve a pat on the head. No love for stepping into the grandeur. Sad. I don't get it. No love for stepping into the grandeur. Oh, grand tour. Okay. Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me quickly try to translate what the fuck this man is saying. Um, oh wait, you're just saying otsukare but in katakana. Like what the fuck? That's so weird. Like, come on. Every time I read these letters, I always expect some foreign word, but now you're right. Oh, you know, I'm actually getting to the point where I'm like getting unnecessarily triggered for little things. Like when I was watching Non Non Biori, the third season is called Non Non Biori Nonstop, and if you look at the logo every time like the opening sequence plays, um the non non Biore, it's spelled not spelled, it's written in hiragana. That's fine. But then non-stop is written in hiragana. I'm like, what the fuck? Shouldn't this be in like katakana? Like what? Like I got weirdly triggered like for no reason. Like what the fuck? But like, I think the reason why it's written in hiragana is because I mean this is just my theory. I don't know if that's actually the reason why, but I think it's because one of the main characters is like 5 or 6 years old. Do they teach 5 and 6 year olds like katakana? That's actually an interesting question. Avis, if you know the answer, you can tell me. I don't know if they actually teach them. I know kanji, they kind of have to like wait a couple of more years to learn. Hiragana is one of the more basic stuff that they learn at the beginning. But I don't know if katakana they also learn around the same time, because if they don't, that might actually be the reason why it's written in hiragana, is because it's supposed to be like some kind of homage to her because she's like one of the main characters. And I'm pretty sure the name of the show is kind of like a ref. Don't take words written in different scripts too seriously. Most natives don't even care. It's always super cringe to see a foreign get triggered. I mean, when I say triggered, like I don't mean like I'm not actually upset. In fact, I'm actually more appreciative of the fact that they wrote it in hiragana, because if it was in katakana, then I would have to like grab my notebook and try to translate it. Like I know I'm not really, I don't really care. But anyway, wait, what was the question? I zoned out. I was asking, when exactly did they start teaching children katakana? Um, I would actually, I would actually like to know that. But like, yeah, as I was saying, I'm pretty sure non non Biori is a reference to Renge, because she ends most of her sentences with non. So is that what they're referencing? I always assumed that was the case, but maybe it's not that. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. Renge has a really weird way of speaking that I fucking love. Like I love the way she speaks. Like it's so unique. I don't even know why I'm asking Avis when I can just Google it. Hang on. Let me change the screen. No, not this one. Yeah, this one's alright. Alright. When the children. No, hang on. When the children start learning katakana. Children begin officially learning reading and writing at the age of 6 when they enter elementary. They learn hiragana and katakana during the first. Okay. Okay. All right. Honestly, it's expected for most children to go to kindergarten knowing hiragana and katakana. Either their parents teach them or they go to preschool. All right. All right. That was in. Okay. All right. That's something you learn. That's something I just learned today from two sources, Avis and Google. Yeah. I was actually thinking about streaming um, Naruto Ultimate Ninja 2, but I can't get my OBS to stream the PS2 emulator properly. Like I always kept getting into problems and stuff. So I might not end up streaming that anytime soon, because I'm actually preparing a tier list of all of the Naruto Storm boss battles. Because fun fact, Claude had a dream where apparently I made a video ranking all of the boss battles in the Storm games, and he like tweeted out to me, "Why haven't you made that video already?" And I was like, "That's a good question." And I actually planned on making this for a long time, but I just never actually did it. So when Claude told me that, I was like, you know what? I should just write the video already. So I started writing it, and goddamn, it's not gonna be a short video. At first I wanted to like make a tier list of Storm 1 to 4, but I can't do it. um Lamau Claude dream about you. I mean, I've had some weird dreams, so this is honestly not that weird to me. So, but like, yeah, like yeah, I've had some like, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was going to say I was gonna rank all of the boss battles from Storm 1 to Storm 4, but the moment I reached Storm 3, like the last boss battle, that was the point when I was like, I can't go on. There's no way. I'm gonna have to postpone. I mean, it's not even gonna take that long. But like, Storm 4 boss battle is gonna be for another video. Like I can't write it any. I can't write more. Like I'm already exhausted of writing it. I mean a little bit, not that exhausted. I mean I'm sure I can still find energy, but the problem with writing scripts is that I don't just like the mental task doesn't just come from, thinking about things to say. It's about imagining the fact that after I after I write this, I'm gonna have to read it. And to me, the thought of writing more, like I was like, I can't. I just can't. I mean, based on the size of the script, this video might end up being longer than 40 minutes, probably. And to me, anything longer than 10 minutes is too much. So yeah, like I just hate recording. That's definitely like the worst part. It's recording, but whatever. Like yeah, I'm gonna start. I've already finished the script. Might have to tidy it up on a couple of areas. Then I'll record it. I might record it. I consider recording it this weekend, but that might not end up happening. So maybe next week I'll start recording it. I don't know. But yeah, the video's coming. I think it's gonna be interesting. Probably. It gave me an opportunity to think about a couple of boss battles that I never actually talked about, because in my review of the Storm trilogy, I think I gave like pretty reasonable, like reasonably a reasonable amount of things to say about Storm 2's boss battles. But dude, I love recording. It's like talking, but you don't have to wait for other person's dumbass response to your objectively good takes. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I can't stand retakes because that's inevitable. Every time, like, when I read scripts, eventually I have to retake it because I might mispronounce something. I might stumble, like something like that. Like, basically, what's been happening on the stream, that shit can happen. Like, that shit happens every time I try to record, and it's annoying. And I sometimes I get tired, but it is what it is. I mean, I guess these streams are kind of like, I do kind of share the same sentiment, like what you're saying right now, but with these streams, because people who usually watch these streams are people that are not going to insult me for anything I say, because I'm not a big channel, and streams don't usually. I mean, maybe after the stream is over, like the amount of views might be somewhat relative to the usual uploads, but during the streams, like the amount of people watching it is usually not the same as the amount of people who clicked on your video. So the people watching the streams are not people who are going to, like, they're not like random strangers who stumble upon my video because of the topic or something like that. Like, they're just people who know me. So yeah, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, small channels are epic because of that. Only downside is that you don't make a lot of money. That's literally the biggest downside, is that I don't make a lot of money. Also, besides money, I also just kind of wish, because I was talking to some people I know, some of my cousins, and like we were talking about the idea of promoting my stories, because I recently published it on like Wattpad, and for obvious reasons, it hasn't really gotten really that many views and stuff. And right now, I'm in a position where my channel, at the size it's in right now and the amount of relevancy, it can't do that much to like promote those books. Like, I don't even know how many people are even reading them. Not that I want them to, but imagine if I got to the point where I did, write something that I'm actually like super proud of and I want people to read it. I'm at a position where I might not be able to promote it. Like, the amount of promotion I might do to it might not be enough to, gain that many people interested. So yeah, it's money, and also just the thought of people, consuming your work. Sometimes you want that, and sometimes you don't get it. But I mean, it is what it is. But of course, there are some benefits to being small. Like, for example, um, when you're either big or you want to establish connections with people, you try to be a lot more careful with what you say, especially here in the cartoon community, because I assume it's because of the content that they talk about being cartoons, and since most cartoons are aimed towards children, I guess there's this sort of expectation that the people watching your videos are children, and also the fact that a lot of the people who will associate with you are people that are trying to be like PG. So as a result, usually when I talk or listen to people in this community, they tend to not be too spicy with the things they say. They try not to be too edgy, too controversial. Like I can only think of a couple of people who fit that description. You know, people like Mars Reviews and what's that name of the channel? I think it's Cartoon She, I think. Yeah, those are like the few ones I can think of. Like the rest of them, they try to keep things a little bit clean, you know. And I don't want to worry about that stuff. I want to say whatever the hell I want. Lol, yeah, you don't really care about what you smell. Well, sorry. You don't really care about what you're small. When I join a VC, I'm just like, what up, versions? Yeah. I mean, even like on this stream, like if I if I called someone like Doggo or you, and you guys started saying shit, like there are a couple of things that we would talk about that I'm pretty sure other people would not be okay with it. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So I guess that's the one benefit of being small is that you don't have to worry about um keeping a good image. Although this does also mean that, you know, people are less inclined to want to associate with you, but since no one knows who you are, it might not be as much of a problem. I don't know. Yes, please do call me. Wait, what? I mean, we did plan that watch along, but we still have to talk to Claude. You think Kitty will ever return? Um, I, I mean, the way. Okay, I'm gonna, I'm gonna try not to spoil Yakuza 7, but his appearance in that game did not imply that it would be the last time. You know, like it's not like they gave him some kind of like ceremony. It was just one of those things where he was in the middle. Which, by the way, I'm actually surprised that Kitty was. I mean, maybe not that surprised, but like the dude is still involved in a lot of underground stuff happening, which I think is really cool. Like when you have those like they were Koreans, right? Like he's like associated with that group because once Kasuga got really mad, like he got really mad because his papa died. Well, oh, fuck. That's actually hang on. No one here is planning on watching. Sorry, not watching. Playing Yakuza 7, right? Because I may have said something really bad, something that I really shouldn't have said. But you know what? Fuck it. Someone died and got Ichiban really mad, and he started punching one of those thugs like really bad. And then Kiryu was like, "Bro, calm down." So he's like one of those people who seems to be following the shit that goes on, which is interesting. Because if he was like completely off the grid, then he would not be aware of most of the shit that was going on there. But he definitely did know. His Soapland dad died, yeah. So, by the way, I have not actually shared my opinions on Yakuza 7 yet, and I think I'm gonna keep them to myself for now. But can I just talk about how how fucking goofy it was? Like the whole baby swap thing. Like what the fuck? Like, dude, like, what a fucking coincidence, dude. Like, they just so happened to be in the exact same, like, they were in, like, close, lockers. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are the odds? His opinion's gonna be like, Yakuza 7 was a shit. No! That game's great! I love Yakuza 7. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That game was great! Like I finished that shit in like a week because I was so invested in what was going on. Although there are some things. There are some things about the turn-based combat that I think could have been. I don't know. I'm planning on playing it with a different difficulty because something I noticed about Yakuza 7 is the fact that um they did not encourage you to take that much consideration to the elementals, which surprised me a little bit because I thought that I would have to put more thought into it. But to me, like I don't know, I was kind of able to grind my way through beating all the bosses by just leveling up and stuff. Never really had to take into consideration the fact that some of my techs were maybe too weak, or maybe like the whole resist thing, or maybe some opponents are weak to certain types of attacks. So yeah, I wish they had put. I don't know. I might have to play it on a different difficulty because it might just be that. Maybe once I do that, the impact would be a lot bigger. So I don't know. But it was still a great. It's still a great combat. I had a lot of fucking fun playing that game. Yeah, it was a weird twist. Um, I like the idea that the coin locker gave Ichiban brain damage. Yeah, I never actually thought of it that way because yeah, it is true that what the fuck was his name again? That dude. He got crippled because of the fact that in his first few seconds born, he was locked in a place with no air and stuff, which damaged his body and stuff. I was surprised that Ichiban didn't really suffer any side effects, but the brain damage thing might actually might actually be a legit reason. I don't know. That does actually seem plausible in my mind. Hmm. But like yeah. Um but like yeah, that twist was weird because um I mean maybe there's some thematical reasons behind it that I'm still not sure yet. But like even Ichiban was like, I don't really care, you know? Like the fact that it was possible for him and that other guy, his like the underling dude, um like it's very possible that one of those two are his father. Hang on. This is pissing me off. Let me Google their names. I don't want to speak vaguely. It's pissing me off like really hard. I hate when I forget names. Um, why am I on IMDb? Hang on. All right, let's look at the cast. Like I really hate it when I forget names. All right. Masumi Aoki. Okay. Okay, I remember now. But like yeah. When he realized that the worst dad in the series, good God, yeah, yeah, and it's weird because like now Ichiban is in a position where both Sawashiro and Masumi could be his father. Now, I'm definitely a lot more inclined to believe that like Masumi is his father, mostly because of that scene where when he like when Ichiban when he was like a teenager or whatever, he like picked a fight with one of the yakuza, and it was like one of the like rival gangs of the that clan, that fucking shit. Actually, I'm calling it. I mean, it was shit at some point, but it did eventually climb the ranks. The Arakawa family, when he picked the fight with one of the rivals of the Arakawa family, um, he was like getting tortured and shit. And what he ended up doing is he pretended like he was a part of that clan, which prompted them to call Masumi so they can settle the whole deal. And it's weird because Masumi kind of said that the reason why he saved them by sacrificing his finger is because he kind of like he said that he wanted to look cool in front of him or something like that. It's some bullshit excuse. It's basically he was nice. He was too nice to let him, die there. But I always wonder if maybe the reason why he was he wasn't hesitant on saving him was because it was kind of like a instinctual father thing. You know what I mean? That's just my head canon. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people are more. I think I don't think it's like like a hot take to say that he's the most like he's like the person who's the most likely to be Ichiban's father. Like I'm pretty sure no one disagrees with me with that. But yeah, Sawashiro, like, what the fuck is wrong with that dude, man? Like, he's known for a while, like for a fucking while, that Aoki might be his son, and he has this sort of like, I guess he pretends like he doesn't care in a way about stuff that happens because when Masumi died, um, he got really mad during one of the meetings to the point where he like stabbed someone's eye because they kind of wanted to like settle that entire situation with like money and stuff, and it was like, no, that's not how real yakuza work. Like the dude was obviously pissed, but you know he doesn't really want to admit that, and yeah, that's kind of how he acts. So yeah, I mean, I actually I like Sawashiro. He's I mean, I hate him, but I like him. You know, I hate him as a person because he's a fucking asshole, but I like him as a character. You know. Oh man, so much shit You know, something I really like about the Yakuza games is that I feel like as time passed, they're more willing to become like they're getting more ambitious with their stories. Um, because it's one of those things where I can kind of see it for myself when I play all of them chronologically. You know, hang on. You want to know what I love that's related to Yakuza? Backstreet Girls Goku Dolls. I don't even know what that is, and I probably shouldn't look it up. But like yeah, I think the Yakuza series, I think the stories get better with time, cause um I Yakuza 0 has my favorite story, but when you look at the progress of stuff, you know, you have Yakuza 1, pretty pretty decent story. I like it. It's I mean, it's structured in a way that I appreciate less when compared to some of the later stories, but you know, I like it. It's a good story. Then you get Yakuza 2. Pretty great story actually. Probably one of my favorites to be honest. And then you get Yakuza 3. Opinions are mixed. I think mm, they ever get those deported women back. Um Hang on, I'm trying to remember because hang on, let me try to remember. Uh because I think they did. No, because okay. Hang on. Basically, it's an anime, and the plot is like three Yakuza members fuck up on a mission and have to get a sex change and become J-pop idols. Um, wow. But yeah, like the thing about those deported women is that I do remember that they were promised something later in the story. I think it was I think this was all like a part of like I don't think it was Bleach Japan, but it was one of it may have been Aoki's organization that organized, or maybe, yeah. But they basically gave them like a promise that they would take them like to a good shelter, but that was like that was all bullshit. It was all just to kind of like raise the public image. What ended up happening is that they kind of just got discarded in a way, but I don't know if that actually ended up happening, or if it did, then if there was any conclusion. It's been a while. I might have to. I might have to revisit some walkthroughs to remember exactly what happened to them because that is a good question. Because I know like the landlady was pretty mad, and then they punched her, but though they punched her for a different reason. Okay, but like yeah, like I think I like the direction that the story like the plot keeps getting because Now, ever since Yakuza 4, they've been becoming a lot more ambitious with what they do. I wonder if they made this game knowing 2020 was an election year. Um that about the coin locker thing, it said in 4 that all the characters may be brought together by fate. Yeah, they did actually say that. They did actually say that. I do remember that. I mean, as far as the whole election year thing, it's possible. I did actually think a lot about the election when I saw this, because like I saw a lot of parallels like with the way they promoted some of their campaigns. I don't know. It's debatable. I mean, that game takes place in 2019, and I don't know if that was because that was a specific year they wanted it to take place, or maybe that game could have been released before 2020. I don't know. It's debatable. But one thing I will say is that wait, what was it I wanted to say? Oh yeah, Hollow Man, if you're still here, I want to know what's your opinion on Judgment being canon to the Yakuza games? Because I've been arguing with people about this exact thing. Um, I mean, right now, because of some statements from um the localization team, and also something that the president of the studio said in one interview about the possibility of Kiryu appearing in Judgment, but then described it. Because of those two things, and of course, all of the like references and stuff, obviously, I'm now a little more inclined to believe that Judgment might be canon. But the whole Kamurocho 3K plan thing, it really fucks up the possibility so much. Like there's no fucking way. I never really thought about till your video. Okay. I mean, honestly, I honestly never really thought about it that much. To be honest, like to me, like Judgment's canonicity was always one of those things. Wait, I imagine Clovis gets super furious in Yakuza arguments and flip over the table and punch you in the fucking face if you have a shit take about Judgment being canon. Here's the thing. I don't even really. I think a lot of the arguments people bring up for why it's canon, I think a lot of them are fair, but it is kind of annoying that people ignore the main reason why I don't think it's canon. Um, is Judgment set in current year? Judgment. Here's the thing. Judgment takes place in late 2018, like late, and Yakuza 7 takes place sometime around the middle of 2019. And the thing about Judgment is that when you look at what the characters say and just observing for yourself, it's pretty obvious that the Tojo clan is pretty dominant there. Like I'm pretty sure there's even like a narration where like I think it was at the beginning of the game where Yagami was like, Tojo clan's pretty dominant here. They get into a lot of fights with other families and whatever. But I don't know. I think he said something like that. Like it's pretty dominant there, and there's no way that this reality can coexist with what happened in Yakuza 7, because the Kamurocho 3K plan, they said that it started like 2 years ago, which would mean sometime around 2017. It honestly probably happened even before that, because the reason why the 3K plan happened was because of all of the nonsense that happened in Yakuza 6. And assuming that the campaign to clean Tokyo started after all that stuff, it might have actually happened even earlier than that. And then the Omi Alliance came and they dominated Tokyo. And based on the way based on how some people reacted to Ichiban even considering the idea of Tojo clan still being like present in Tokyo, like they found it to be so absurd. I'd have to assume that they were probably like nuked way before late 2018. Like there's no way like they would still be dominant around that time. It is weird that Tojo members are never brought up, especially because of how powerful they are. Yeah, I mean, they don't get brought up, but yeah, I think the only family that's like referenced there is like the one from like the main. I mean, there are two main families that get brought up. The one is That clan from what's the city again? Um, I think it's from Kyoto. Like yeah, that basically that clan that was in cahoots with the other family. Hang on, let me Google it just to remember. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Like there were just two main families that were like very highlighted in the game. Like the rest of the Tojo clan wasn't really brought up, but it's pretty obvious that they were still dominant. And the fact that they don't like the fact that they're like the fact that I'm supposed to believe that even after more than a year of Tokyo, like the government trying their best to clean the streets of Tokyo, the Tojo clan would still be dominant. Especially when you also consider the fact that eventually the Omiya line started to dominate. Like, there's no way Tojo clan would still be a thing in late 2018. It's blatantly impossible. And yeah, it's just so. Oh, hang on. Do you hate SJW Steven Universe fantards? Are you talking about like those like rabid Steven Universe fans? Because like I don't really. Uh, to me, like I've just accepted the fact that every show has bad fans. Like it's just whatever. I at this point I just don't care. Does anyone even still watch Steven Universe? I don't. I have not watched that show in like probably 3 years at this point. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, it's a good show. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't care. I don't care anymore. Uh, like yeah. You know, I went off track. I was basically talking about how ambitious the Yakuza games had become ever since Yakuza 4. And yeah, I watched season 1 and dropped it. Okay. Season 1's not that good, honestly. But I mean, whatever. The last few episodes were actually pretty cool, so I'll say that. I mean, to be fair, you know, I did have an easier time getting into Steven Universe than I did Adventure Time. Like, Adventure Time, like, I know this, I don't know, I had a really hard time getting into season 1. Like, I tried so many times to get into that show, like, and I just couldn't. And eventually, I just had to be convinced by literally everyone, including Watch Mojo, that Adventure Time is like one of the best shows in Cartoon Network. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll put up with however much I can. But eventually, I did get to the point where I did enjoy Adventure Time. I mean, it did eventually just get boring, but to be fair, it got boring around the time when everyone agreed it got boring, so it's not my fault anymore. Why did you cringe so hard when I said drop it like it's hot? Uh, it's not even that I cringed. It was just an interest. I was just amazed by what you just said. It's not. I've gotten to the point where I can't tell the difference between man. Adventure Time is epic. Yeah, it is. I've gotten to the point where I can't tell the difference between cringe and fascinating, because to me they're kind of the same thing. They're kind of the same thing. Um, I mean, Yakuza 7 has by far the most blatant message when it comes to way it handles red light entertainment. Hmm. Yakuza 7, I do like the way they handle the idea of homeless people and basically, you know, people in general who are not like in the best financial state, that they have to rely on some of the more underground way of living. That's kind of how I perceive, like because Ichiban is someone who grew up in a soap house, so he was raised by a lot of like straight up prostitutes, and he does not shame them at all, like not even a little bit. Like he absolutely respects them, and he sees the humanity in them. And for him, I mean, I guess when it came to homeless people, there was that one scene where he kind of wanted to like encourage them to um kind of like encourage them to soap house. Man, he must be living clean. I mean, not really. I mean, he was like a baby, so like I don't know. I don't imagine Ichiban's childhood to be all that good, to be honest. Like living in that environment must have been pretty. I mean, I want to say awkward, but awkward doesn't even begin to describe. Like it wouldn't have been it wouldn't have been completely pleasant. But like, yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like I think that game does a lot to make you empathize with people who are in those kind of like really rough positions. And he dropped out in middle school. Yeah. Yeah. So like, yeah, I do like that about the game. There's a lot to like about that game, honestly. I honestly kind of feel guilty that I haven't talked about it because I don't know. I wanted to. The reason why I held I mean, first of all, I just didn't really want to make like some kind of like review of the game. Like, here's my review of Yakuza 7. Like when it came released, I'm like, okay, this game does this, and I'm gonna give it a score or ranking or whatever. I didn't really want to do that. Like, I didn't care at all. I'm like, I'm not a reviewer anymore. But I still kind of want to talk about it. Like, there's a lot to talk about in that game, honestly. By now, it seems like a lot of people are already kind of doing that anyway. So, remember the Shooting Star Yakuza videos? Those were great. What the fuck are you referring? Like, Dragon Ball dolls, Shooting Star Yakuza videos. What the fuck? I don't know what any of this is. I wonder how well it sold in the West. And I assume it might have been a lot. I mean, it was highly promoted here. I mean, I think the studio in general has been getting more in touch with the Western demographic in general. I mean, the fact that they're even porting it to the Xbox and PC is like the way of expanding on the reach of the game a lot more. So I mean, even the fact that they named it Yakuza Like a Dragon, I honestly have a feeling that the reason why they did that is because if they were to title it Yakuza 7, then a lot of people, specifically Xbox players, I'm talking about Haruka, won't take no for an answer. Haruka. Hmm. Interesting that you mentioned Haruka. Very interesting that you mentioned her. But yeah, what I was gonna say again? Oh yeah, yeah. They I have a feeling that the reason why they titled it Yakuza Like a Dragon is because, for one, it's a game that you don't really have to follow the other ones to really get it. Like it's not like a direct sequel to Yakuza 6. It's just that it takes place after it. You uploaded a video with that exact title. Yes, I wait. On. So wait, are you referring to the song? Is the song called Shooting Star? Oh fuck, I actually did not know that. I apologize. I feel very uncultured right now, unironically. But like yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like it's not like a direct sequel to Yakuza 6. You can kind of get what goes on there, like, and oh okay, it is called Shooting Star. Okay, I mean I know that song. I just never knew it was called Shooting Star. But okay, like yeah, I wonder because in the marketing they hid the UI like they were trying to make people think that it was an action game. They hid the UI? They really did that? I did not notice it. I mean, if they did do that, that's pretty weird. I mean, is it maybe because they thought that would make the game more marketable to the West? Maybe they think that Westerners really like action games and stuff. I mean, don't Japanese people also like action games? That's actually an interesting question. But like, yeah, I mean, when Yakuza 7 was released, they still had like the Xbox still only had Yakuza 0, 1, and 2. Now imagine if they released a game, Yakuza 7. People will be like, oh my god, I can't play this game right now. I haven't caught up yet, but if you title it Like a Dragon, there isn't really that expectation that you have to keep up with the rest of them. It feels a lot more like a self-contained game. And in some ways, it kind of is, but at the same time, I would not really recommend playing that game if you're a newcomer. I think that you should definitely play the other ones because there are definitely some fan service moments that really hits, really hits hard when you know the game, like when you know the series. Like that scene when Kiryu showed up and punched that motherfucker. I was like, damn! Like, I really wanted to scream really bad. But I can't disturb my neighbors and my roommates. But fucking Christ, that was such a great scene. And like, it's really and then they started playing like receive you and like boom 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 boom, and I'm like, fuck yeah! And then like you heard like an acoustic guitar, and I was like, oh man, the memories I've spent I've spent with this dude. Like this feels so emotional and stuff. Like it was just great. Even the other scene I really liked was um when Majima showed up, and it wasn't the scene in specific where he appeared. It was the boss battle. Like that boss battle was so fucking like the BGM, because they played Receive You. I think it's called Prototype or something like basically that version of Receive You that plays in Yakuza 1 when Kiryu fights against Majima. And they've kind of like remixed that song several times throughout the years. And I think the one in Yakuza 7 is by far my favorite. Like, by far my absolute favorite rendition of that song. It is amazing. Like, I was playing that game and I was just feeling the memories I've like spent with Majima, especially with like all of the moves. Like, there's a point where he fucking summoned like his purple shadow clones. I'm like, oh yeah, he did this in Yakuza 7. I was like, damn. This is why I wanted to play Yakuza 7. This is what I came here for. Like it's so emotional. Like it was great. It was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. The boss battle against Kiryu was also really good. I like the fact that he kept switching he kept switching styles. It was pretty cool actually. There are actually some mods of Kiryu, and I saw them. I don't know if you can actually switch styles the same way he did during the boss battle, but it'd be interesting to see how exactly they work. Although one thing that pisses me off is that every single mod video I've seen, they have like the English dub, and I was like, God fucking damn it! Don't get me wrong, the dub is fine. I think Kiryu's voice actor was actually pretty decent, but I want his Japanese voice for fuck's sake. I feel like if you showed up to a Yakuza fans meetup and greet, you'd get like all the women there. The Yakuza fan base does actually have a lot of women, because there are some pretty boys in Yakuza. So, I don't know if I'd get all the women there, but I guess I wouldn't. I wouldn't hesitate from trying. I guess I don't know. I mean, if I'm gonna date someone, they might as well be a Yakuza fan. You know. Wait, did I just give him an idea? Yes, you absolutely gave me an idea. Although I live in Lisbon, I don't know that many people who are Yakuza fans. Not that they don't exist, I just don't know where they are, you know. I've been talking for an hour. He's gonna get some pussy. Hopefully. Although with the pandemic, I might have to wait a while. You know what I want to do, Avis? I want to get a job. For real this time. I actually want to get a job because I want to buy a PS5. I want to buy a new desk. I want to buy figurines. I want to buy HoloLive merchandise. I want to buy a lot of things, and I can't because I don't have a job. So I need a job desperately, actually. I want to get a job too, but I can't drive and I'm kind of fucked. I mean, here in Portugal, I have Metro, so I can just rely on that. Although, I guess if I got a job somewhere really distant, that might actually be a huge problem, but I don't think, like, I mean, at that point, I don't think I would even want the job, honestly. And here in Portugal, like, the metro teleportation is pretty cheap, so Yeah, for me, transportation might not be that big of a deal. Lol, I just want a job so I can have more capital to invest with on my stockbroker. I did actually, after talking to Doggo, I've actually been winning. I've been considering investing in stocks too, but I have to do a little more research for that. What do you think about the way Yakuza 5 portrayed the idle lifestyle? Funny thing about that, I was on Twitter and I was actually I was reading one of my mutuals tweets, and he was like, I want to watch a story about someone. I want to watch a story that's like critical of idol culture. You know, he was kind of seeking for that, and someone recommended Yakuza. Well, he recommended Yakuza 4, but he was obviously referring to Yakuza 5. And I saw that and I was like, yeah, but Yakuza 5 isn't actually that critical of idol lifestyle. Like, honestly, it's not for the most part. Like, it's a game where they do, like, okay, they do highlight some of the more morally questionable things about it. You know, the fact that, like, for example, Park said to Haruka that, hang on, just a couple, I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, I'm back. She basically said to Haruka that um, idol love is not real love, and you know any amount of like affection and love that any of her fans might show to them, it's not real. Like it's not even close to the real thing. And you know there are a couple of like statements like that where because Park is like a somewhat like of a cynical business person, so there are some advice she gives to Haruka that are kind of morally questionable, but for the most part they don't really criticize um idol culture all that much. Like for the most part, like the idol stuff is just a part of a grander plot. Like it's not really that relevant. Although you know there are some things that like you can definitely make some observations there, like the fact that a lot of like idol agencies might be run by sketchy people, and also the fact that a lot of like unhealthy rivalries can occur between between idols and stuff. You know, despite the fact that they might have like a positive, clean image doing stage, backstage it might be a lot more complicated than that. And I also remember one of the side stories. There was this really aggressive, creepy dude that was like um, being a little bit inappropriate to one of the girls and stuff. But wait, hang on. Am I misremembering? I think something like that did. I mean, like yeah, there are little things like that, but I mean, what I can say is that if I were to if I like if like okay, I know I know for myself that there's a lot of fucked shit that goes on in that industry. So I don't really need Yakuza 5 to tell me that it's bad. Maybe not even, okay, I don't want to say bad. I want to say questionable because you know, I don't want to like demonize the entire industry even though I kind of think I can, but yeah. But what I can say is that I would not come out of Yakuza 5 with like an extremely negative opinion of that entire thing, you know. Hang on, let me read some of Ava's messages. Lol, I just want okay, I've already he had to pause the stream to make sure the children in dungeon would escape. That's true. That is true. That is 100%. Although if I actually did lock up children here, I don't think they would have that much trouble escaping because my balcony is pretty open, and since I'm on, well, I mean it's weird because um I'm in the bottom of the building, but because of the way the streets are structured here in Lisbon, technically I do have a balcony, and if someone tries to jump, they will fall and probably die actually. But depending on how they jump, they might actually survive. They just have to be a little bit careful. But it's if they try to jump, they would probably die. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, I would not lock up children here because definitely escape. Not that I would want to lock up children anyway. What time is it? 11:21. Okay. This stream might have some clippable moments. I might actually upload some things I said here to my second channel, especially the especially the Steven Hillenberg thing. That shit I'm probably gonna upload to my second channel. So there's three options: or stay with you, jump and die, or jump and break their legs. I mean, I guess they might break their legs, but I don't think they. I don't think. I mean, their legs would not be the only, the only thing they would have to worry about. Like, their entire body would be fucked. Definitely clip the children in the basement shit. I mean, if you want to clip it, that's fine. I'm not gonna clip it. Oh god. This is why people private their streams, by the way. I mean, I don't really private it. I just leave it unlisted, mostly because I don't want to keep streams as like a part of the content on my channel because it's kind of like weird and stuff. I just keep it unlisted. But I mean, it's not even like I'm trying to hide anything. Like, if people want to know what's on my channel, they can just fucking like, they can seek out my tweets, find the ones where I shared links to the streams, and they can watch it if they want. They can watch. I did say that I was planning on playing a video game, but PS2 emulator fucked me up. The other game I wanted to play was Multi Blood, but right now I think I'm a little bit tired. I might not end up playing. Oh no, Clovis said the N-word. Did I say the N-word? I did not say the N-word. What did I say? Did I say the N-word? Like, what N-word are you specifically talking about? By the way, the Amanda show is way better than all that. Hang on. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay. You're talking about Dan Schneider, all right. I'm assuming you're talking about Dan Schneider. I have not watched a single thing from Dan Schneider. Is that a good or bad thing? Wait, what? Wait, what? Aside from one of these days, I actually do want to stream Yakuza 7 just because I want to complete some. I want to complete that fucking the whole Millennium Tower challenge. I really want to do it, but I have to, dude. Watch Drake and Josh and iCarly. They're ironically and unironically hilarious. That sounds like a nightmare. I'm not gonna watch it. It's weird. I don't fucking. Oh god. Okay, Drake and Josh, I might. iCarly, I don't know. It has like a bit of a rocky reputation. Like, some people like it, some people don't. I don't know. If you're looking for evidence that he's a oh, okay. I mean, honestly, I think I've seen enough to make my own educated opinion on what I think about Dan Schneider. But I'm not gonna say. I mean, I already said at the beginning of the stream. Oh god, there's a short where he's in a hot tub. Oh, I've seen that short. I've actually seen it. It's so fucking creepy. Dude, iCarly is so fucking weird that it's hilarious. I don't want to watch a show like that. Okay, I don't know if that's what you're specifically talking about, but I can't get. She was like 14. Oh, interesting information. But like, yeah, I don't know if that's what Aphis is referring to, but I can't get into so bad it's good stuff. Like, I admire people like YMS who can somehow enjoy watching bad content, because I can't. I get easily bored when I watch something bad. I get bored, I get frustrated, I just don't have a good time at all. I just can't really get it. The only so bad it's good movie that I've ever seen was Ben 10 Race Against Time. Like, that's a movie where I watch and I'm like, this is amazingly bad. But that's like and I guess there's also, I did watched Cool Cat back in 2016. It was funny. There were some funny moments. Most of the funny moments came from like the really creepy parts. I mean, for the most part, the movie was kind of it was mostly unwatchable, to be honest. But I did like all of the like really weird like I love baby scenes. And I love you. Oh yeah, that movie's a classic. No, iCarly isn't bad. It's just funny weird. Yeah, I don't want funny weird. Okay. Well, actually, maybe funny weird might be something that I enjoy. I don't know. I do like Toy Spider Man. So, Toy Spider Man is kind of like funny weird because it's a series that takes itself seriously. I mean, maybe not. I mean, okay, it doesn't take itself that seriously. Like it would be a bold faced lie to say that. But I mean, it is like presented in a sort of like okay, it's a show. Ben 10 movie was so bad, absolutely bad. I think both movies are bad, but I think Alien Swarm is a little bit better. It has better production, and I mean, the plot was kind of dumb, but it felt like they cared more. But like, yeah. What was I gonna say? I wanted to talk about something in specific. What was it again? Fuck, I forgot. I forgot. That's sad. I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. It's annoying whenever that happens. I didn't think that would happen to me though. Every time I saw like streamers doing that, I was like, "Come on, stay focused. What the fuck is wrong with you?" But apparently, that also happens with me. That's interesting. Yeah, let me see if I can try to remember. There's a short where he's in a hot tub with Amanda. Dude, iCarly's so fucking weird. Oh, I was talking about Toy Spider-Man, the Japanese live action Spider-Man series. Like, yeah, that's a show where I think it's written in a way where children can take it seriously, but adults cannot. And that show is, to me, like it's funny. Like there's a lot of like really like there's a lot of like blatantly funny moments. But there are also moments where I'm just amazed by what I'm seeing because the plot of that show is fucking like out there. Like it's so weird, especially for like a Spider-Man show. Like the direction that they took was something that I was like, I want to see where this goes. I mean, it's not like it's like a plot-driven show or anything. Like it's kept fairly simple, but the background they gave to like the characters and stuff is so out there. Like they're like aliens and shit. I'm like, wow. YMS is gonna be 50 when he releases that Lion King. Oh god. Oh fuck. I'm glad you reminded me. That dude has been working on the Lion King shit since Toy Spider-Man, exactly. The live action Spider-Man show. Dude, YMS has been working on that shit since even before the fucking what's it called? The Kimba shit. Like that was also a video that took a long time to come out. Like cuz I've been following like the YMS highlights channel, and I'm pretty sure YMS has been working on the Lion King movie since at least late 2019. Maybe a little bit later than that, but I'm pretty sure he's been working like I don't know if he's been writing the script since then, but I know he planned on it. He probably planned on it since it was even announced. So I guess that's it. Does Spider-Man become a drug dealer or something? Unfortunately, not. Unfortunately, it is a kids show, so I don't really imagine that kind of stuff happening. Can you imagine Spider-Man being a drug dealer in any of the comics? I mean, it had to be like a different Peter Parker, assuming it would even be Peter Parker anyway. What really is there to say about the Lion King movie? It's just a soulless reboot. It's true, but I mean, I'm excited to watch the review. Not because I care about the Lion King movie, because honestly, like I didn't even watch it. Like I don't watch any of these live action. I want to watch that. I want to watch that review specifically because of YMS. Because YMS, unfortunately, not. Yes, unfortunately. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to see Spider-Man as a drug dealer? But anyway, the reason why I want to watch that review so bad is because YMS is extremely passionate about the Lion King movie, like the original. I'm pretty sure it's like his favorite, or at least one of his favorite animated movies out there. And so I really wanna see just how deep his rage will go, kind of like that. And also, I guess I hate Disney enough to want to watch that video because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been watching that many reviews recently. I just don't fucking care. The only live action Disney remake I've seen is the Beauty and the Beast one, and it was so boring. Um, I did kind of watch that movie when I was in someone else's house. This was back in like I think 2 years ago, maybe 2018, something like that, or 2019. I don't know. I was at someone's house, and the Beauty and the Beast started playing in one of the like local channels and stuff, and everyone there seemed to have like some connection with Beauty and the Beast. They may have like seen the original movie, so when they saw the live action, they were like, "Oh man!" Like they were super excited to watch it. They really wanted to see all the scenes getting recreated and stuff. And I was just kind of watching the movie, and I was like, "This is boring as hell, dude. Like, why are you guys getting excited? Like, this was literally a case of them just being excited for the fact that something they saw when they were a kid is being shown again, but in live action. But it's a lot worse. Like, it's what did you get kidnapped into? Wait, did you get kidnapped into someone else's house and you were forced to watch it? I was not. I was technically not forced to watch it. I mean, it was like a party and it was like a meetup and stuff. And while the TV was on, eventually they realized that Beauty and the Beast was playing, and they just started watching it. And I was like, this movie doesn't look very good. I haven't seen the original Beauty and the Beast, but even I could tell like that movie is like probably a lot better than this. Not a good movie, but damn, have you seen live action Maleficent? I have not seen it, but I have heard about what happened. It was kind of fucking stupid. But whatever. I don't want to make judgments about something I didn't watch. Who the fuck chose to watch a Disney live action movie at a party? Well, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at what nostalgia can do to people. So, OBS disconnected for some reason. So, that was kind of weird. Can you guys listen to me right now? This is bad. Maybe I've been streaming for too long. I'm so happy that the live action movie flopped at the box office. Yeah, me too. But, I mean, it probably still made money, which is the part that pisses me off. I can hear you, okay. By the way, Avis, out of curiosity, do you want to voice chat? Because if you're busy, you don't have to. But if you aren't busy, then you can come. I'll put you in a call if you want. Yes, I want a VC. All right. Then I have an excuse to make this stream even longer. Hang on, let me open my Discord app. Or I can just go to the website, I guess. This time I swear I won't take as long to open it. Although my app is giving me a lot of trouble, so fuck it, I'll just go to the website. Hello.
Hello. Alright, now I have to mute the stream so I don't hear you twice because that'll be weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you should definitely mute the stream. So, how's everything going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. Hang on, I might have to increase the volume of the desktop audio.
Okay.
I hope. Hang on. Let me test for myself. Because I did reduce the desktop audio because I was trying to test like a video game stream.
Okay.
Can you? So I heard that you read my book.
Well, you didn't heard it. I told you. I directly told you. It's not like no one else told you. No, I told you.
Yeah. I'm glad because I'm pretty sure no one's reading it. Like I showed that shit to like some of my cousins. Like not that sort of specific. The other one I wrote before. Like they've only read like first page, and I was like, I mean, I guess I wasn't expecting anything higher than that, but I'm also disappointed at the same time because no one's reading it.
It's okay. I'll be your number one fan.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. But like, yeah. So Avis, what are your thoughts on Steven Hillenburg? Do you think that he was a good man?
I really like. Okay, this is probably like the weirdest take to have, but I really don't even like. I think it's okay. Let me think of a way to phrase this. This is not stupid. So I really think it's hard to really pin down like what kind of person he was because he had like compared to like most celebrities, he had such a private life and he made like such little of his life actually public that I kind of feel like it's kind of disrespectful to me to talk like I actually knew him, even though there's like barely information to go off of. Like I don't even think he did that many interviews. Although there are definitely some that have been extremely highlighted, like the whole SpongeBob is asexual one, and then obviously the whole crossover one also. But I honestly, my answer is just like there's too little like that's publicly known about him for me to really say that I have an opinion.
You know, the whole SpongeBob being asexual thing kind of caught me by surprise because like SpongeBob's sexuality is one of those things where I never really thought about it. And to me, I don't really find the idea of him being asexual to be unusual. But I was a little bit surprised because I have vague memories of him having some kind of like. Because I have seen like the first 5 episodes of SpongeBob, I think. And I always assumed that there was like a thing between him and Sandy. Is that her name?
Yeah. Okay. So, this is So like that's probably the most common ship between them. But there was never like anything where they did anything romantic, except for this one thing they did in Truth or Square, where they basically tickled the audience balls by advertising that Sandy and SpongeBob were going to get married. But it turns out that whole thing was a fucking lie, and in the episode, it was just like a play. It like wasn't actually them getting married. So that's really the only time that they tickled the audience balls on that. But aside from that, they have a strictly platonic relationship? Is that the word?
Yeah, that's it. Wait, is this the first time you've heard of the concept of being platonic with someone?
No, I've heard it before. It's just I've never really used it in a sentence myself.
Because you never felt a need to do it.
Yeah, because I just fuck every woman that I see.
Interesting opinion to have. But yes. I mean, SpongeBob, SpongeBob reminds me a lot of Luffy, because Luffy from One Piece, because he's also a case where you can kind of see him as asexual, and I think the author has kind of like confirmed that he is, even though there are some scenes from the past that kind of imply otherwise. But I think in a lot of those instances, you can kind of just boil down to it being like a retcon. So even if SpongeBob at some point showed heterosexual or homosexual feelings towards anyone, they might be considered outliers, and it will be a lot more consistent to say that he's asexual. So I guess that's it.
You know, I didn't think about comparing SpongeBob to Luffy until now, but now I'm thinking about it, that actually is not a bad comparison. Man, I need to watch more One Piece.
Yeah, me too. Like, I need to people fucking meme on One Piece by saying that you have to read like 100 episodes for the series to get good, but I disagree. I think One Piece is good from the beginning. Like, I don't understand why people say that. Like, the first chapter of One Piece is good.
It only took me like 3 or 4 episodes to get into One Piece.
I read it. because people were telling me that the anime was bad and all. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll read it.
It's okay. It's like it's one of those anime like Naruto or Dragon Ball where it's not really bad, but just the pacing fucking sucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pacing is definitely a big issue. It's actually the reason why I read Naruto instead of watching it because, like, aside from having pacing issues, it's also the animation is a little bit inconsistent. Like some scenes look a lot better than others, you know. And I don't know if I can tolerate that kind of drastic shift in animation quality when you can just read it, and for the most part, at least, the artwork looks fairly consistent. I think it's
Yeah.
only
See,
until what?
I was just gonna say that I kind of fucked myself because I started watching it, and now I'm like 150 episodes in, so now it's too late to switch. So I'm like, shit, now I gotta finish it.
I mean, I recommend the manga more than the anime, but I mean, if you want to watch the anime, that's fine. I think the anime has great music. Like, I love the soundtrack of Naruto. It's great, like really good.
Oh no, I'm talking about One Piece. One Piece is
okay,
the one
okay,
that I'm
okay.
watching.
I
I'm reading
thought.
Naruto.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you're reading it,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. Drake the Human.
Yeah.
Hi, hello, Drake the Human. How's everything going with you? But like, yeah. There's, I'm glad you're here because there's something I wanted to talk about, but I forgot for some reason. Hang on, let me. I think it was.
Oh god, are you gonna ask me if I'm like gay or something?
I mean, if you are, you can say it on stream. But
I'm not. No, don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that. But like, what I wanted to, it's the fucking watch along because we've been putting off for way too long, and I think I know why. I think one of the reasons why we haven't organized yet is because we don't actually know what we're watching currently. Like, I have. Oh fuck! The stream is. Oh,
Yep.
The stream was buffering for a second. I think it still is. Hang on. I think my internet is fucked. I hope this is not a reoccurring thing. But like, yeah, I think the reason why we haven't organized the watch along is because I don't think any of us know what we're watching. I literally have no idea what Claude is watching right now. I know what video game he's playing because I follow him on my PSN, but I don't know what he's watching.
Damn.
So
Okay, to be honest, I haven't watched the anime in a little while because I've just been so busy with the Naruto manga. Like, there was a point in time where I was reading 6 volumes a day, and it fucking hurt, but I did it, and I got all the way to volume 400, and I still have 300 more to go, which hurts me when I think about it. But I'm gonna finish reading that shit before I go back to anime.
All right. I mean, I actually haven't been watching that much anime too, although it's mostly because I've been busy with reading. I've been busy writing and other stuff.
Ooh.
So yeah.
What are you reading?
I'm reading. Hang on, let me remember the name. I've been reading Japanese Grammar Guide by some guy from Japan that I forgot the name. Actually, that might not even. Is he Japanese? Is that a Japanese name? Tai Kim.
Oh, that's the one you're reading?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, this book, I'm not gonna lie, at first I was like, okay, this is annoying. And the reason why it was annoying was because at first, when I still didn't know how to read hiragana, I always had to use the hiragana charts on my notebook in order to read whenever he wrote Japanese words, because it doesn't actually write it in with the Germani text. Germani, what the fuck? Wait, how do you say it again? Germanic, Germanian,
do you mean like Romaji?
Romanji, exactly. I don't know why I said Romanji. Fuck. Yeah, it's Romanji. Sorry. I don't know how I fucked up there, but like, yeah, he doesn't actually write it in Romanji text, so I always have to find out what the fuck he wrote, and I used to think that was annoying, but I think now I really appreciate the fact that he decided to write it that way, because that's actually the reason why I eventually learned how to read hiragana. Honestly.
Yeah. For me personally, I've been trying to learn Korean a little bit more and trying to learn a little bit harder. You know, obviously they have their whole Hangul system, their own writing system. So I kind of relate with the struggles of trying to learn a new writing system.
I mean, does Korean have 3 different systems?
No.
Well, then
Just
you're not
one.
in the same position as I am.
Oh,
I
well,
mean,
to be fair, I did actually learn katakana, hiragana, and kanji, so I have been there before also.
yeah, that's actually fair. But man, this is a fucking struggle, dude. And it's weird because every time I try to like explain to people who are not really learning Japanese, like it's like I'm speaking in some fucking alien language. It's like I'm like trying to
Yeah.
like explain what I'm struggling every day, and they're like, "Oh, okay, oh, okay." Like they don't understand
Yeah.
how fucking hard it is to learn 3 different word systems. And I think the moment when I was like, "Oh man, it's like I'm living in 2 completely different worlds," was when my stepmother asked me, like, because I told her that I had to learn 3 different word systems, and she
Mhm.
asked if it was possible to read a sentence only with just one of them, and I was like, "That's impossible."
It's technically possible, but it's very uncommon.
I've, I, I mean, okay, a sentence might be a little more likely, but an entire paragraph is completely
Oh
impossible.
yeah, fuck that. Yeah,
It's
that's literally
completely impossible.
impossible.
Because I say that because there are actually times when I read tweets from a couple of VTubers I follow on Twitter, and sometimes they do read it in hiragana exclusively. So that does actually happen sometimes when the sentences are a lot simpler. But an entire paragraph, there's no way. It's
Yeah.
just forget about that possibility. I have to learn at least kanji to learn most texts.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kanji is very crucial, despite how fucking hard it is. Although for the beginning stages, you can just get along with just knowing a few hundred kanji. But once if you want to become fluent, then yeah, you got to learn all. What is it, like 2,200 of them?
I mean, are there actual Japanese people who have learned that far? I mean, I
Um,
assume there are, but I do wonder how many of them are.
well, the educate that's how many the education system, you know, like high school, middle school, and that teaches them. Although, obviously, not all of them can write that well. I'm sure you've like seen the videos of like people walking up to Japanese natives and asking them to write and then seeing them struggle. Although all of them are well, pretty much the only reason behind that is because like just using like phones and like computers and stuff has just become so normalized that there's really not a need to. So they can still like effectively read and write all of them, or like read and type all of them, just not necessarily write all of them.
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, it's actually a lot more. I mean, I definitely do not know how to write any of these characters. I mean, I can look at them and I know what they are, but if I were to
Yeah.
write it like without any like reference, I would not be able to do it. Maybe I mean some I definitely would. I mean, I think a I U E O I don't really need a reference, but the other ones, I don't think I'd be able to do it.
Yeah, I'd say don't stress about it too much for now. Just learn how to read them and
Yeah,
learn how to, you know, write them electronically because that's all that really matters right now.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the reason why I'm learning this is not because like it's not like I live in Japan. I have to like learn this. I do it because there are some media that I have to consume it exactly the way it should. Like there's this fucking video game that's entirely actually there are 2 video games. One is a fighting game, so I don't really need to understand all that much. I just have to kind of know how the menu works. But then there's like Yakuza Ishin. That's like a story driven game, and I definitely do need to learn Japanese to follow that game because there's just no
Yeah.
way I can.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty hard. I will say though, like I'm glad you said like, oh, I'm not in Japan. I just want to do this for media. I really want to stress like, don't push yourself too hard with this, and try to like beat yourself up too much if you don't get this because at the end of the day, you're just doing this for fun. So I think you should
Yeah,
definitely like not beat yourself up about it.
I mean to be honest, I'm harder on myself for the stories I write than I am for my progress with Japanese
Mhm.
because like okay, I definitely do value learning Japanese a lot. Definitely, like it's a language that I really want to learn. But if I could improve as a writer, like if I can become like a decent writer, that to me is more valuable than learning Japanese. At least I
Hmm.
don't know. At least that's how I see it. Maybe if I get to the point where my writing capabilities won't lead me anywhere, maybe at that point I might think that Japanese is more valuable because at least I would have more media accessible to me and something like that. Like that might actually be a decent argument for why learning Japanese is more important. But at least right now, I kind of feel like me learning how to write is a lot more important.
Yeah. Do you ever consider taking some kind of career that involves writing? Because, like, for example, bloggers are like a very common career to have nowadays.
I've thought about writing for those bad screenwriting
Oh my
websites,
god.
but then I decide not to do it because I remember that I don't actually like those websites. So
Yeah, you remember you have fucking dignity.
yeah,
Okay, I will say that like that's kind of the extreme end of like the shitty end of blogging. There are definitely some in betweens there where you can actually just have like a decent job writing about things that you actually care about.
yeah, like yeah. I mean, when it comes to writing, I definitely have thought about it because, I mean, when you think about it, like you and I, we've been doing this shit for at least 2016. Like
Mhm.
we have experience with some level of like essay-ish writing,
Yeah.
and we could, and if we could like it might actually be possible for us to use the skills that we've developed these years to something that might actually make a decent amount of money. I actually haven't really put that much thought into it because I guess in my mind I've always imagined that if I were to ever get a job, it would be like a shitty part-time job, like working at a restaurant or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
fucking work is a pain in the ass.
yeah, like that's like one of the last few. I mean, okay, I'm gonna say one thing, and this might actually be a bit of a hot take. Um,
Oh, I want to hear it.
okay, shitty, bad part-time jobs like that, I'd be more willing to put up with them if it wasn't for the fact that I had to communicate with people.
Yes. Okay, that's not a hot take at all. I 100% agree with that.
Oh, okay. Because honest to
Yeah.
God, I don't. Okay, maybe okay. Depending on how many classes I have, on the university, maybe that might affect whether or not I want to like how much time I want to spend on these jobs. But if I could like spend a year with these like menial jobs, I probably wouldn't actually be that bothered by it. I'm sure it would be a little bit mentally tasking to do repetitive tasks like that. But I mean, if it's getting me money, I don't think I would mind. The only problem is that I have to talk to people, and that's like my
Yeah.
biggest obstacle because I don't think I
Yeah, I
can
can't
get
even
along
get
with
past the
people.
fucking interview.
Oh fuck! Oh man!
Yeah.
Oh man!
Okay, I will say that I kind of want to like tell a story that kind of relates to this. I did actually. I've only worked one job in my life before. It was about a month, and because of COVID, I actually had to stop working there. But for that month, I worked as like a dishwasher, and I just worked in the back of a restaurant. And I pretty much the only people I talked to were like my coworkers, and I barely even talked to them. And that job was actually pretty good because I didn't have to talk to people. So I think that definitely if you could find a job where you don't have to talk to people, then you're fucking good.
I mean, I'll say one thing: if I had a job where I had to wash dishes, I would take it because
Yeah, it's
I've actually spent literally hours washing dishes because it's something that I can just do naturally. So yeah,
Mhm.
I could consider jobs like those. Although I guess it might depend on where I'm working at because like imagine if it's like some like really dirty restaurant. Could I actually tolerate those? I do wonder. Maybe I
I
would.
just worked at like a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, yeah. I need to be more open because like I'm at this point like I'm like 23 years old and I'm gonna turn 24 and I still haven't gotten a single job, which is not very good. Especially if assume like if we're assuming that once I end university, I'm gonna have to use all of these like all of these like degrees, all of these like bachelor degrees and whatever to like get a real like get like a more stable, like healthy jobs and stuff. And like if that were to happen, like would my inexperience with any type of like job affect? Because I think it probably would.
Yeah.
And I do kind of
Yeah.
like yeah, I do feel like I might have to like go out there, do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially because
Fucking.
uh
I was just gonna say that the job industry is really brutal because of this loop you find yourself in, where no one wants to hire you because you don't have experience. But the way you get experience is working jobs. But you can't get a job because no one wants to fucking hire you because you don't have any experience. So you're just stuck in that vicious cycle, and it's such a pain in the ass.
yeah, that sucks. I mean, I guess if I got like I mean, like, if I got minimum wage, I probably wouldn't complain that much. I mean, if that money can buy me a new desk, some figurines, specifically anime girls figurines, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
um, I might buy a Dakimakura. Probably, I don't know. My fear is that people will enter my room and get extremely creeped out by it because okay, cause here's the thing: figurines, like who fucking cares? Like no one's gonna care. But at fucking Dakimakura, like you're gonna see
that?
this giant pillow with presumably a picture of a racy anime girl. Like someone's gonna look at him and think, should I be near this dude? Like,
Dude, if I was rich, I wouldn't even care. I would just buy like a whole army of those motherfuckers. I'd buy like 30 of them, and I'd have them like sitting at my door every day to fucking greet every intruder.
like, yeah, because like a part of me just doesn't give a shit and kind of just wants to embrace the fact that yeah, I'm like a little bit of a degenerate. Like it's whatever. But at the same time, I do kind of care about my image. I don't want people to they get creeped out by what they see in my room.
You don't want to bring your Tinder date home to that shit.
Well, I mean, my Tinder date comes like I mean, okay, if I'm gonna date someone, they're definitely not gonna be someone who's like at least, well, maybe not so much, well, maybe a little bit accepting, because I always assumed that if I was going to date someone, it's gonna be someone with similar hobbies, and if that same person saw a Dakimakura on my bed, I would. My first assumption is that she wouldn't care, but maybe I'm being a little bit too close-minded with my choices. Maybe I should be a little more open-minded. Maybe I should be like one of those like Chad YouTubers who tell you like instead of being yourself, be someone else to get girls.
Yeah, that's kind of that's the only way to get attractive girls. Because like, what fucking attractive girl watches anime? Very few.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think like it's that important to get like the pinnacle of attractiveness. Honestly, I haven't even really thought about this all that much because these past few years, I've been so detached to the world of dating that in my eyes, the idea of an attractive girl is like a 2D person. So that's how bad life is.
Oh my god.
So like, yeah, I don't even know what my standard for a beautiful girl is anymore. I don't know.
Mine is like at least a 5 or 6.
What's a 5? That's the problem. I don't know what a 5 is.
Wait, like you rate girls on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm saying like at least 5 or 6.
Yeah, like I know that, but like in my mind I don't know what a 5 is. I
don't. Let me think. Let me send you a picture. But first I need to find a 5. I don't just have a bunch of fucking pictures of girls laying around.
I mean, you can just Google them, so you have that excuse. Yeah. But I mean, if you want to admit to having pictures of 5s, you can do that if you want.
Actually, let me go through my gallery and see if I do, just off the top of my head.
I mean, no one's watching this stream, so you're not gonna get canceled or something like that.
Dude, even if I did, no one would fucking care. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I run into the same problem. All of my pictures of women are all 2D women. Fuck.
Oh god.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, it's for the best if we don't do that.
All right, let me see.
Out of curiosity, and you probably don't use Twitter all that much, but have you ever gotten to the point where you follow people that you might actually say something that could make them like really pissed off and want to disassociate themselves with you? Because I have a few. I have a couple of people.
Okay. That's a really good question. I want to answer it. But before that, I think I found like a 5 or a 6, like a good example of like a 5 or
Okay,
6.
just send it.
Here we go.
Maybe I should also show it on screen for anyone who wants to see.
Don't worry, she's fully clothed, so it's okay for you to send it.
I mean, if she's not, that's fine, but I'm not gonna show it on screen.
I would consider this like a 5 or a 6.
This is a 5?
5 or 6.
Oh. Actually, because I
What
think
would you say?
I think she looks good, honestly.
Well, I mean, I didn't say 5 or 6 was bad. Like 5 is average, and 6 is above average.
Yeah, because I think she looks good, honestly. I think I consider her like a fairly attractive person. Though maybe it's the camera angle. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure on a bad day she can pull off a 4.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I think she's okay. You know what? I'm gonna temporarily show this on stream, just so anyone decides to look at the archives. So yeah, this is the person Avis was referring to. That's it.
I have no idea how old that person is, so I might actually just like get in trouble. This is just a random ass person I thought it was.
Oh, I mean, it's only illegal if we know that she's 12. Well, actually, I'm not entirely familiar on the law, so I'm not sure. But like, yeah, I asked you if there are any people who would fucking disassociate with you if you ever said the wrong thing.
I mean, that already happened to me a couple times. I've had some people unfollow me because they got mad at what I said. Although, that's not really the case anymore because I don't use Twitter. And recently, I actually dropped out of every single Discord server I'm in except for 2 of them. Both being, or one of them's a Japanese server, and then one's just a server that is used for like people who want to learn English, and I just join there for fun sometimes.
Okay.
Those are the only 2 servers I'm in. So I really only associate with a very small circle of people now.
Yeah, because I'm like in a weird position where I definitely have some mutuals that do not have the same level of, how do I say this? Tolerance of language policing is what I'm going to say.
Oh, okay. So they get really mad if you said like the R word. We'll call it because I don't want to say it because people will get mad.
Which R word?
The one that refers to a person of less intelligence.
Oh, I actually did say that word on stream.
Where?
I actually did say the word on stream. But
well, here's the thing. I don't get mad when people say it. I just avoid saying it because other people get mad.
Here's the thing. I also kind of avoid, but only on Twitter. Because yes, that is definitely a word that because there's actually this one time, I was actually replying to someone's tweet, and I did say retarded, and he said to me, he was like, said, okay, point 1, please don't use that word, and then he responded to what I said. So I was like, oh, this is a word that I should probably be a lot more careful because there are definitely some people.
Yeah, if enough people see your tweet, I guarantee you someone in the fucking replies is gonna respond with, hey, don't say that. So yeah. It should become just normalized shame people who say that word.
Yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, the fact that he was like a mutual made me realize that I should probably be a little more careful. And it was and that person in question is probably not even the most PG person on Twitter. So if even he had a problem, then I have to imagine people like fucking Crimson Mayhem. Like, I'm like, oh god, I can't say certain things in front of him. He's not gonna take it well.
God damn it.
It's like, yeah.
Crimson Mayhem has just become such a fucking rabbit hole.
I agree. You know, Crimson Mayhem interests me. Like, he's an interesting person to me because I've actually said this in the past where I think you and I, there was a point in time where we were not afraid of getting into controversies with other people. Like I think back to like 2017 when we were pretty open about shitting on people like Villisca Bum 94 and stuff like that. And like there was a point where we were like on that position. And Crimson Mayhem is someone who's in the exact opposite in the sense that he absolutely does not want that kind of drama. Like he doesn't really want that kind of like environment. But he has been in a fuck ton of dramas, way more than
Yes.
you've ever been. Like way
Yeah.
more. I always look at it and I'm like, how do you do it, bro? Like, how the fuck can you get into all of these like rabbit holes? And he's not the only person. Like, I know I know a couple of other people on Twitter as well that like there are people who definitely just don't not like they don't want to get into drama, but because of the fact that I think it's because they take Twitter interactions like very seriously. They're very like they choose to be very passionate about the things they say and what other people say, and it's to the point where they're willing to get into this. To the point where they're willing to get into arguments with people. And I think arguing with people, it's fine. I've argued with people. It's fine if it's like a healthy one, but it can get to a point where you're now arguing with people who are a little bit on the toxic side. And the thing is, if you talk to a toxic person, eventually you're gonna become toxic as well. Even if it's a different type of toxic, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, right now, I don't really care. Like, if you haven't noticed, I haven't talked shit about anyone since 2018. Well, maybe that might not be.
Not publicly, but privately you have.
Yeah, privately. Yes. But yeah, I've been keeping a pretty low key, calm vibe because now that's my motto. I don't want to fucking get into beef with other people. Not that I can anyway, because I think I'm too small for people to even notice me. But yeah.
Yeah, so you'll like make fun of someone and be like, "Hey, this guy's a loser," and they'll just be like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't tell them directly that he's a loser. I think maybe that's the reason why I don't get into drama. Is I just don't confront people directly. If I did that, I might actually get into more dramas.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want that anyway because I think it's pointless. Like, why get into drama when you can just fucking watch an episode of some like ecchi fan service Yuri show? That seems like way
I would
better.
say that there's one purpose to getting into drama, and that's fucking YouTube revenue, baby. So if you're ever gonna get into drama, make sure it's always on YouTube and not Twitter.
Yeah, this is actually a point that I think it was Quentin Reviews once said. Like, this was years ago. This was before like the revamp that he went through recently. And he once said that like if you want your channel to grow, especially if you're like a commentator, you have to eventually talk about drama related topics. So those are the ones that are gonna get eyes. And I can say that this is probably true because when I think of some of my like one of the biggest videos on my channel is the Butch Hartman video, the 4-minute one where I'm just compiling a bunch of shit he did. Because I uploaded that video around the time when the Butch Hartman drama was pretty hot back in 2018. It got pretty good views. I think it's gotten even more because last year Butch Hartman got into another drama, and then people decided to revisit that video for some reason. Yeah. But like, I guess at some level, what Quentin said was actually a little bit true.
Yeah.
The problem is that I don't care about drama.
Yeah, there's also that. I don't fucking care enough to get involved with all this shit. Like this Jeffree Star, this whole like beauty community shit. I don't care. I really cannot watch one of those drama videos talking about it because I just don't care.
I mean, the only drama I've been following recently is the Pyrocynical. I mean, at this point, it's kind of over, but like I was actually following that one, and I think one of the reasons why I follow this because I'm interested in the idea of age of consent and pedophilia. I like seeing the discussions about it because it always like people always have different opinions depending on where they live, So it's always interesting to me. What?
It makes it sound like you're interested in it because like you want to make sure you know these laws very carefully. So
no. Okay, here's the reason why. And I think what I'm gonna say is not actually that. I mean, it's not actually that controversial. Is that I'm actually someone who doesn't understand why the age of consent in some countries, including America, is 18. But it's not because I think it's too high. It's because I think it's too low. I think 18 is actually too low. I think that making it 21 to 25 makes a lot more sense because that's around the time when the human brain mentally develops, like mentally matures. Like 18, the only reason I can think of for why it's that age is because that's when people on average graduate from high school. Like, what the fuck is
Mhm.
high school? High school doesn't make you a fucking adult. So it's always been
Yeah.
weird how like some states in America have 18, and I mean other countries have it worse. They have like 16. So I'm not saying Americans like the worst at this. Like there are definitely countries who are a lot worse, but I still don't understand. Like I don't understand why it's 18, why it's this low, and it makes it even weird whenever I see people like those kinds of people who will say like if you're 18, no, if you fuck a person who's 18, that's not pedophilia, but if you fuck a person who's 17, that's pedophilia. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's not fucking true.
what okay, first of all, that's not pedophilia, that's ephebophilia, which is a little
Yes.
bit different.
Yes.
And second,
Yes.
I don't understand what's the big difference between an 18 and 17-year-old. They're the same thing.
Mhm.
They're really not
Okay,
that
so
different.
I really want to throw out some information here that I think will really help your fucking pedophilia investigation or whatever you're doing. Just some fun facts that I think will really help you out. So, first of all, I want to point out that you kept bringing up that the age of consent is 18 in America, and while that's what's commonly being spread around, it's actually technically fairly false in that it's only 18 in 11 out of the 50 states. In most places, it's actually either 16 or 17. So I just want to throw that out there,
uh
just in case you didn't know.
I was actually aware that some states were
Oh
16.
no, it's not even just some states; it's the vast majority.
Okay, that's interesting information. Then why the fuck do people treat like 18 as the main age? Like it's so weird.
It's just a common myth, kind of. Just
Okay.
really just like a common myth. Yeah, I guess that's the way to put it. Another thing I want to point out though is that if you think 18 is bad, then like you do know that in Japan the age of consent is 13, right?
I mean, here in Portugal, the age of consent is unironically 14.
God damn.
It's
Yeah, in some fucking
yeah.
countries they're like
Although to
wild.
be fair, it's 14, but technically there are some like clauses that kind of prevents people from taking advantage of someone's inexperience from ages 14 to 16. So I don't think that a fucking 40-year-old, if he went on a date with a 14-year-old, he would get away legally. He probably would not, depending on what type of relationship he would pursue. I guess I don't know. The laws here are a little bit weird, but like, yeah, it's technically 14, and it's pretty disturbing.
Yeah. At least from what I understand, it's good to not. Oh God, I'm choking on dick over here. But anyway, from what I understand, like no matter what country you're in, it's normally universally, very publicly like the opinion that like taking advantage of someone younger is wrong. So even in like Japan or Portugal, like if an adult tries to date a child, like even if they're doing it legally, like the public is still gonna fucking shame them. So it's good to like not like judge people of these countries. Like I guess since we're using them as an example, not judge Japanese and Portuguese people for this because like even they acknowledge that it's fucked up.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I live here, and I can definitely say that people would not be okay if a 40-year-old dated a 14-year-old, which it's
Yeah.
probably illegal anyway, but even if it wasn't, people would not be okay. Um,
Mhm.
I think people are a little more okay when someone in their early 20s dates someone who's like 16 to 18. I think people don't really are like I don't think people mind that all that much here. Which is definitely different in America because you have like Cosmodore who's like 19 and he was like publicly shamed for not even actually dating a 15-year-old, just dating. So like yeah, there is like a bit
Yeah.
of a disconnect in how we view things.
Definitely. And okay, I really don't want to defend Cosmodore, but at the same time, I really do think that like compared to other people, Cosmodore is kind of on the lower end of the spectrum.
Yeah, that's actually an opinion that okay. Since I might upload this on my second channel because I want to get this out. Well, wait. Actually, no, I'm not gonna upload that on my second channel. This is gonna remain unlisted. Otherwise, people are gonna get the wrong idea. But like,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're not defending Cosmodore. He's
yeah,
still a cunt,
yeah.
but
We are not defending Cosmodore. In fact, I think that he like based on not only what he said, but also the messages that were um published in the that video from Daft Pina, it definitely does seem like Cosmodor was a pretty like shitty, like emotionally abusive, manipulative person, and he definitely does deserve to get called out for that.
Mhm.
Although when it comes to him dating a 15-year-old, while I do think that it's wrong, I don't think it's that wrong. I think you could do a lot worse than that. Like to me, the idea of a 19-year-old dating, like again, he wasn't even necessarily dating her. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think he wanted to like wait until she was 16. I think. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but something like that. But yeah, they weren't. They were kind of like just dating. They weren't even sending nudes. They're just sending like, I think, drawings and stuff. And again, like I definitely do think that it's a bit wrong. Like, I think it's somewhat wrong, like a 19-year-old, because I think that there is a good enough difference in terms of maturity levels. And I say this because I have a sister who's like 16, about to turn 17,
Mhm.
and I also have a cousin who's like about to turn 20. She's still 19, and I can definitely say that there is a difference in maturity levels between them, enough so that I can definitely see it as a little bit questionable that someone about at that age would date a 15-year-old. But at the same time, I think that you could do worse than what Cosmo did. I think that it would be a lot worse if he was a lot older than that. And it like to me is interesting how people have been treating him, because like people have been treating him as if he were like an actual pedophile. And it's interesting to see that. Like it's interesting to see like how people are different, because I don't believe that everyone feels the same way. Like I genuinely believe that there are some people I know in real life that he would not be as bothered by this age gap between them. So yeah, I this entire controversy has been incredibly fascinating, just to see how different cultures can kind of affect how people perceive each other based on the age gap.
So before I respond to what you say, I really want to ask: have you seen the victim's video on it? Because she uploaded like a 40-minute video on it.
I have not. It'd be interesting to. Did more information come out about it? Because if it did, I would
Basically,
actually.
the victim just gave her side of the story.
Uh huh.
But yeah, you should definitely watch that video if you're interested in it, because that gives a lot more context to this. Um, but okay, actually, the first thing you'll notice about the video, which this isn't really like talking about something you wouldn't know about, because this is literally something that you will see as soon as you click on that video. Her voice is like, she sounds so much younger than it actually is, that it's like any argument that Cosmo attempt to say he didn't know her age is completely null and void just on her voice alone. Like
Yeah, I
she
agree.
sounds literally 13, even though she's like 17.
That's actually very. that's that's very interesting. Actually, I mean, I don't think he ever claimed that he didn't know, but if he did, then he's definitely bullshitting, because he literally posted a confession back in like late 2019, where he like straight up said that he knew about her age. So if he ever tried to use that justification, that would be straight up bullshit.
Yeah. Also, sorry if there's a little background noise. I'm eating some Japanese candy right now because
Uh,
I
that,
have
that
not eaten anything in a really long time.
that's okay.
But anyway, um, so yeah. Oh, okay. Also, something I want to know. Did you know about? Which I don't know if this was revealed in the victim's video. Sorry, I keep calling her the victim. I just don't remember her name.
That's
But yeah, I don't remember if this was like something new in her video, but it was revealed that Cosmodor also pursued LS Mark, who was also like around the same age as her.
did that actually happen?
Yes, she showed a DM conversation where Cosmodor is or I don't remember specifically what they said, but I think Ellis Mark came to Cosmodor and he's like, "Hey, I heard from someone that you have a crush on me. Is this true?" And then they have like a whole fucking conversation about it. It's the weirdest shit.
Okay, that's I was not aware. Okay, because okay, I did know, like, okay, there were some like hints that he was I think I remember. I think it was in like Death Peanut's video where that kind of stuff was. Maybe it wasn't his video. Maybe it was someone else's. But I did. I was aware of the fact that apparently Cosmo tried to like hook up with LS Mark or something like that. But the proof that they gave wasn't conclusive enough because I've like you can kind of interpret it as him joking. But if they actually had like a conversation about this entire topic, that actually does changes things. Because
Yep, the DMs are in her video.
Okay. Man, this video seems like a fucking treat, dude.
Yeah. Let me actually give you a link so you can watch it after this stream. It's a fucking doozy, let me tell you.
Also, apparently,
by the way, her name is Gabby Gabber, so I can actually call her by her name. I'm gonna call her Gabby instead of just the victim because that sounds really fucking disrespectful.
Okay. So apparently, I've got a notification saying that YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. What do you mean? What about this is that's on screen? What do you mean it's not receiving enough video? Hang on.
Someone said in the chat, Ellis Mark is 17, right? Yeah, but you gotta remember this actually happened a while ago. So I think he was probably like 16 or 15 at this time.
Yeah, I think he was like 16 because he's 17 now, right?
Probably, according to that person at least.
Okay, because if he's 17, then all this would have happened like back when he was like 15. So, it doesn't really look that good for him.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen this video recommended several times.
Yep, that's the one.
I just never watched it because it was too long.
Yeah, I recommend like okay, she just like draws in there, and aside from occasionally when you need to like look at the DM screenshots, for the most part you can just listen to it and just like play video games or something.
Okay.
Okay, here's a very important question I want to ask you. Have you played OS before?
No.
Damn, I think you'd really like that game if you played it.
All right. By the way, did I say anything bad? I have a feeling I said something bad.
What do you mean by something bad?
What if I said something that'll make people think that I think what Cosmo did wasn't bad?
No, I think we made it pretty clear that like he's still a cunt. Just like there are some aspects that we kind of disagree with the public opinion on.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Alright. And I'm cool. I mean, you should okay, do you have a PC?
Yes.
You have a good PC.
Yes.
You should buy Dragon Ball Fighters.
I have it on my Xbox, and I actually got it around the time it came out. But I just never played it because I just don't care.
Because, dude, Doggo sent me like a fucking he sent me like Dragon Ball Fighters for the PC as like a gift. So now I can play against people on PC. Although I do have to reduce the specs because my computer's not that potent, but whatever. So like yeah, I can actually play against people on PC because PS4 apparently less people have it than I thought, but hopefully more people at least have it on PC. So I mean, if you have it on Xbox, I guess that sucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't like touched my Xbox in like a year or two.
That might actually be a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I think I don't have a video game problem, to be honest. I can very easily spend like more than a day without playing video games. But there are times when I do spend hours. Like I mentioned, I played Yakuza 7 for a week. Like I finished that game in a week. I did it because I was literally binge playing it. Like the day that game released, I bought it due to pre-order. And I just spent the entire, like, it's like 7 fucking days non-stop playing. Like, I would wake up early, play the shit out of it, take breaks just to eat and stuff. Then I would continue playing it and rinse and repeat. Almost every day was exactly like that. Like, sometimes
that's kind of what I did recently with reading the Naruto manga. I would like just wake up, read the manga, and then fucking go to sleep.
I am actually. It's actually interesting how addictive you have been, because Because when you told me that you were going to read Naruto, I was like, oh yeah, that's actually pretty cool. You should definitely read it. But then I'm like, wait a minute, you're really reading it. Like you're
Mhm.
absolutely like fucking binge reading the shit out of this. I'm like, yes, the man is
So there's
converting it to the right
Yes.
religion.
So I'm at chapter 400 right now, which means I have 300 chapters left. And what I want to do is I want to read them in 100 chapter segments. So I want to spend a day reading 100 chapters, then take like a rest day, then read another one 100 chapters in a day, then read another 100 chapters in a
That
day.
sounds like a lot. Although I'll say,
Yeah.
if you do end up finish reading it, we should definitely talk about it on
Okay.
video because
Okay. I may or may not, but definitely do, but may or may not have a gigantic fucking thing planned for it.
okay, well that's good because if you're in the mood to talk about it, and we should definitely talk about it together because I'm actually a bigger, I'm actually more invested in the Naruto universe than a lot of people probably know. And the only reason why people don't know is because I don't actually talk about the series all that much. The only time I talk about it is whenever I talk about the Storm games. But I actually I've read Naruto and I've like seen enough like material of it that I have like a pretty intimate I have a like pretty intimate relationship with the series that I always just kind of wanted to like talk to someone about it, but most of the people I know don't haven't actually read it, or maybe they dropped it after some point. So there aren't that many people I can talk about it with.
Okay, so I really, really, really like talking about Naruto as well, but I avoid talking about it because I just have a thing planned, and if I talk about it, if I talk about certain aspects of it, I'm gonna end up spoiling it. I'm gonna tell you what the thing is offline if you want me to, because I don't mind telling people. I just don't want to say it on the live stream. I've
Okay,
told
well
one of my other
we'll
close
talk
friends
about it
about
after
it.
this stream ends. Which, by the way, it's been going
Yeah,
on for 2 hours. That's really
yeah.
interesting.
But yeah, I'd like to talk about Naruto if I can, because that's a fun series to talk about.
Although you've only read 400 chapters, which is a lot. Although, where are you exactly? I can't. I don't know which arc you are right now.
So 400 is like right after Sasuke kills Itachi, or I guess he doesn't technically kill him, but you know Itachi dies in the fight. And it's when that last Uchiha, what's his name, like Manzara or something?
Yeah, Madara. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's when he reveals that, oh no, Itachi was actually good all this time. I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah,
right at that part.
yeah. Okay, okay. Because I've been writing I've been writing like a tier list of all the like boss battles in the Storm games, and because the Storm games retell the entire fucking story of Shippuden, every time I'm like writing the script, I have to like revisit all the stuff that happens there. So yeah, it's like when you told me that, I was like, oh yeah, I actually kind of talked about this in one of my videos. So yeah.
uh, how often do you read manga?
Almost never.
Oh, damn, I was gonna ask if you read Berserk.
I've not, but I do want to read it at some point because um people hype it up, and I don't know if it lives up to the hype. But one thing I will say is that the artwork looks absolutely amazing. I would read that
Okay,
series just because of the quality of the artwork.
the artwork is incredible, and okay. First thing I want to say, if you ever get to the point where you want to start reading manga in Japanese, do not. I repeat, do not read Berserk in Japanese. At least if you're a beginner, because even I struggle with that shit. Because it has a lot of really, really old ways of speaking. They use a lot of very, very difficult like vocabulary about like things that were like back in the old days in Japan. Like here's a great example. They introduced this word called iroko, which is a word that there's no fucking way I would have known that if I didn't look it up. And essentially, what it refers to is a male prostitute that was a kabuki actor back when kabuki was a thing.
Uh,
So yeah, it's a very obscure fucking word. And that's just like one of dozens and dozens of examples of just weird ass fucking words that manga use. So if you read that, definitely read it in English unless your Japanese is really good.
I mean, if I'm gonna read manga in Japanese, it's definitely gonna be Naruto because I have an entire fucking folder of like colored panels, and I want to read that shit. And also, I know enough about the story that I don't feel like I'll get lost. So yeah.
Naruto is a little challenging, but it's probably better for beginners. I would say. Sorry, I'm eating Japanese candy.
Okay.
I would say the best thing to read for improving your Japanese is just slice of life stuff. Like there was this one
Shit.
story called Sabagebu, which is okay. This is gonna sound really weird on paper, but it's basically about this girl who's in this high school club. That's about like a survival game club, and they shoot BB guns around and shit. It's a very like slice of life s manga. Although occasionally they use some like gun terminology that's a little hard to pin down, but it's definitely good. No, okay. Here's would probably be like a perfect manga for you to read. One Punch Man, because it's like a shonen, but it has a lot of slice of life stuff in it, and it's not that hard. But there's definitely there's a couple more challenging parts. But for the most part, it's something I think you could definitely pick up and read if you're a beginner and learn a lot.
All right. I'll take that. I'll take that advice. Also, you should check the DM on Discord because I sent an image there.
Let me see this. What's that?
That's a leg.
Yep, it looks like it.
Yeah. That's my motivation for buying manga.
What?
That's that's like the back cover of Durarara, the manga. And I saw that. I saw that it had legs on the back. And it also has underwear on the front, I think. Hang on. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have. It's another one. But yeah. That was my motivation for buying it. I have not read it yet because I've already watched Durarara and I know what happens. But maybe I'll read it one day. But yeah, that's basically how I spent like probably like 14 euros.
So I'm kind of wondering now.
Uh-huh.
Since you said you don't read manga that much, I'm wondering what anime have you been watching recently?
Recently, thankfully I have my anime page open. I've been watching Gintama. That's probably the show I've been watching the most recently. I was kind of binge watching Hanasaku Iroha, but I started to get a little bit bored. So it's been on hold for a while. I've also been watching JoJo Part 4, though very slowly, like extremely slowly. I'm only in like episode 6, and I started watching this like several months ago. I've been watching Mononoke.
I'm still on like episode 2 of like one.
Yeah, I've been watching Mononoke, also very slowly, but I think I'm gonna catch up to it because I recently watched like I think it was like episode 5, and I was like, damn, this shit's really good. I have to continue watching it. As far as current shows, shows that are in this season, Wonder Egg Priority, Yuru Camp Season 2, Non Biori Nonstop, and what is the other one? I think those are the only ones I'm watching currently. As far as no show. Oh, and also Doctor Stone, but I'm not like I'm kind of waiting until the season is over for me to binge watch it. I don't really want to watch it weekly because Doctor Stone does not seem like the type of show that I could watch weekly, to be honest. The same thing also applies to the Slime Isekai anime. I kind of want to binge watch this show as well because I think that's how you optimally watch it. So yeah, those are mainly the ones. There are a couple of other shows that I watch it like once a month, like Jigoku Shoujo, which is a cool series about a demon girl who will kill people that you don't like as long as you promise to go to hell when you die. So that's awesome.
Isn't that kind of like the premise of Black Butler?
Black Butler, is that the one that has like reference to Death Note? No, wait, no, that's another one. I think that's another one. Never mind.
Wait, have you seen Black Butler?
No, I think I haven't.
Okay. It's okay. It's kind of mid. It's not really worth watching.
Okay. There's also Haikyuu. The thing about Haikyuu is that it's on hiatus. So
there's a lot of things about Haikyuu.
Yeah. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, yes, you fucking do. I actually tried to watch it again recently, and I dropped it after the first episode.
That's fucking disgusting, dude.
Don't worry, I'll watch the whole season eventually.
Okay.
Maybe someday. Okay. I actually do have to watch the whole thing because my goal right now is to watch all of the anime that's on Netflix. So if you look at my like watching list on my anime list, like it's all fucking Netflix shit. And Haikyuu's on Netflix, so I have to do that.
I mean, I watch it on Crunchyroll because it has all the seasons. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I think you've seen this show actually. Sakura Trick.
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
Are you sure?
What was it called again?
Sakura Trick.
Never heard of it.
You definitely okay. I don't know if you just Googled an image of it. Are you sure you've never seen this show? The one that has like a banner on your Twitter account?
Okay, yeah, I literally typed in on Google Images Yuri,
my God.
and then I picked one of the first fucking options that I
Oh
could
my
see.
fucking God.
I'm glad you know what the show is called, though. I'm gonna put it on my plan to watch list.
You've okay, I believe you. There was actually a time when I was binge watching this show, but I stopped at episode 8. I will eventually finish it. The problem with this show is that it eventually got to a point where okay, you have these two girls, right? And they're basically a couple.
They make out.
yeah, they make out literally every episode.
Oh my God, now I really want to watch this show.
You should definitely watch it if you like Yuri. But yeah, they make out every fucking episode basically, and they're a couple. They're a secret couple, so I don't think there's anyone that actually knows that they're a couple, and that's fine, I guess. But one part about this show that's kind of annoying is the fact that the blonde girl has like an older sister, and this older sister has like a crush on this redhead girl, and it's annoying because first of all, I don't give a fuck. I want to see these two as a couple. I don't want to even think about the possibility of her sister being in love with her. I literally just do not care. And secondly,
Threesome.
that sounds good on paper, but we're talking about like a television show. We're just gonna see. I mean, honestly, it's not even really a love triangle because I don't even think that the red-haired girl even cares about her sister. And that's kind of like, that's one of the annoying parts. The other thing that's annoying is the fact that since them being a couple is kept like a secret, they don't clarify the fact that they're a couple, even though her sister is actually very suspicious of the fact that they're a couple. They're not going to tell her. So there are always going to be a lot of moments of not just misunderstanding, but just trying to like cover it up. And the show will always kind of find like an excuse for them to not eventually realize that they are dating. And that to me is pretty annoying, to be honest. I don't really like that kind of narrative device. So yeah, my binge watch kind of slowed after a while. So yeah.
I think it would be the type of show where I just like mute the audio and just jerk off because like fuck the story.
It's I mean, I think there are better shows for that. Okay. If all you want is to just mute the audio, there's actually a show that's better for that. Hang on, let me try to remember the name.
How do you know it? This makes me very suspicious.
Hang on. I'm trying to remember the name of the show. I think I have it on my hold. Okay, here it is.
I think you have it in your fucking bookmarks.
Yes. It's not on my bookmark, it's actually on my anime list. The name of the show is Nande Koku ni Sensei ga. Yeah. This show, so I know you might think that that's exactly how I was watching, but the way I was actually watching this show is actually a lot different and also kind of hilarious because when I first found out about this show, I didn't know that much about it, like at all. I only watched it because I wanted something to play while I was washing dishes, and I saw this on Crunchyroll. I was like, okay, let's pick it up. And eventually I realized that this was just, I don't want to say porn because none of them actually have sex at all. None of them actually have sex, but there's definitely a lot of heavy ecchi fan service. A lot. And it is utterly ridiculous. And the version that played on Crunchyroll is censored, but there's definitely an uncensored version if you want.
Oh shit! I'm going for the uncensored one.
Yeah, and I've seen the uncensored version. It's definitely like
Oh,
a
of course,
million
yeah.
times better than the censored version.
It's better. Yes.
Yeah, and-
Oh, he's embracing the horny.
So like, yeah, and I watched this show as I was washing dishes, and again, like I didn't even know what the show was about, and I wasn't even really expecting it to be like the type of show it is. So I was just kind of watching this while also getting turned on while washing the dishes, and it was an extremely awkward position I was in, but I didn't want to stop watching it because it's legitimately entertaining to watch.
Did you like stick your dick in the dishwasher?
No, fortunately, no.
Yes. Okay. Now I have to ask, like, this really makes me think that, like, of all the people that I associate with myself with, you're definitely one on the lower end of the horny scale. Like, I don't think of you as a very horny individual. So, like, this is coming off as a bit of a shocker to me.
I have no idea why you had that opinion of me.
You don't really tweet like fucking, you don't like oh, okay, no, occasionally you do retweet some like lewd 2D anime girl shit, but yeah, you don't come across as a very horny individual to me.
Well, I mean that's because I mean it's a bit complicated. I mean, I like anime girls. I like anime girls who are hot. I like anime girls who are hot and naked. So,
Yeah, I gotta ask, how often do you jerk off to hentai specifically?
how often?
Yes.
Okay, specifically hentai. Oh, I mean, okay, I'm gonna generalize to not just anime hentai, but also like the comics and
Anything
illustrations. Okay, if we're talking about that, I'd say once in every 1 to 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that answer.
What were you expecting?
I like I said, I see you as a pure boy, but this is.
I
this
mean,
is crippling my view.
I'm a pure boy in the sense that I'm not like that in real life, but on the internet, it's a different story.
Yeah, I feel like if I like never knew you on the internet and I just met you in real life when we became friends in real life, I would not have that impression of you.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay. To be fair, I think that assumption you had of me would have been reasonable a couple of years ago. I think I just literally became more of a degenerate.
Yeah, you became a horny guy. Wait, are you one of those people that like waited really long in your life until you started jerking off regularly?
I think I waited until I was like. I mean, I didn't wait. I think I literally just didn't consider up until I was probably 16.
16, wow. And I thought I was late. I thought I was a late bloomer.
Yeah, I mean, I've known people who've been doing it for longer than that. I did take a while. I don't know.
Okay, if you do look it up, the average age that people start jerking off at is 11. So we're definitely late bloomers.
Okay. Okay, we're late bloomers, but we're at the same time we're probably like one of the more. Well, maybe okay. You and I mean, or maybe not you, but at least me. I think that I don't consider myself like some kind of like pervert per se. I just consume media made by perverts.
They have fucking turned you degenerate.
Okay, yeah, that might be fair.
Yes.
Because I mean, at the same time, I'm trying to like pretend like I'm like some kind of like wholesome man, but at the same time, I like watch VTubers every day, like hours watching them. And granted, watching VTubers inherently isn't actually that degenerate, but some specific videos definitely make you come off as that. And also makes it even worse when you download Pixiv, pay a €5 monthly subscription just to look at the most popular illustrations, and then you also turn on R18 tag.
Yeah.
That's when things become a little bit lost.
I honestly don't really watch you.
Well,
I honestly don't really watch VTubers that much. I only watch occasional clips from Korone. But can I say this about VTubers real quick? I don't know that much, but I will say that when I do watch them, they are always the Japanese ones because fucking English-speaking VTubers, just something isn't right about that to me. It's like watching the English dub of an anime. It's just no, I can't fuck with that.
You know what? I'm really glad you brought up English VTubers because, man, my stream is actually doing very badly right now. It's at a really poor status. Although, fuck it. At this point, people are just gonna have to deal with it because I have something more important to say. Because popular since well before 2018. Not 2020. Because I think like, Japan and China, they had already like blown up, especially China. Like I know that like China, like they were like the VTuber thing was like blowing up. And I say this because the way how I got introduced to VTubers was actually sometime around late 2019. And I did so because I followed this dude called Econ. Econ is like, I think half Chinese or maybe full Chinese, I don't know. And he's like an anime fan somewhat. And he knew about VTubers and he made like he joined like a podcast with a couple of other people, and he talked about how VTubers was like an interesting scene and stuff. And I was like, this seems cool. And I started watching them. And back then, I don't think VTubers were that big in the West. I think it was only after some specific VTubers like Korone and I think also Pecora got really popular because of a couple of clips and stuff. And then eventually, Hololive released the English branch, and that really made the entire industry blow pretty hard in the West. Like a lot of people started paying more attention to it, because now you had like VTubers who like literally spoke in English. So like yeah, it's definitely gonna bring more eyes and stuff. And so now VTubers are now at this point where it's like an extremely like popular trend and stuff. And I see this, I'm like, I don't like this at all. Because there was a time when I was the only one who was watching it here in the West, at least.
God, I just like I don't even fucking like I said, I don't even watch it, so I don't even care. It's just like it just doesn't feel right when I'm watching an English speaking VTuber. Like, nah, you're supposed to be speaking Japanese. Look at all this Emilio Watson and this Gura shit or whatever their fucking name is. No, speak Jap. And like now they're like starting to learn Japanese because they realize that like fucking Japanese is the way to go.
Yeah, and I think it's also because they can better collab with their senpais. The English branch of Hololive, I will agree with you that I'm not as interested in them as I am with the I mean, come on, like the Japanese side of Hololive just has like a lot of fucking.
And not replace Korone. She's a good fucking dog.
Like, dude, like the fucking lore behind just in Minecraft alone. Like the shit that happens on like the Minecraft server is insane. Like I'm just way more invested in like the Japanese branch. And also like the reason why I got into VTubers anyway was because I just found the idea of Japanese people who were anime enthusiasts crossing with the platform like YouTube that's like pretty like YouTube is generally like a website that you expect to watch videos from people who either speak English because they live in a country that speaks English or just because they learn it. Like it's generally like a place you expect to consume Western-ish content. And so to see people from like not just from Japan, but specifically like people influenced by anime in specific, it was like seeing a crossover between two mediums that I cared a lot. And that to me was super interesting. I was like, this is great. This is the shit that I was waiting for. And so when I see
Okay.
English VTubers, I'm like, I mean, they're fun, but I'm not as interested.
Yeah, fuck that. I do want to say though, I'm gonna have to disagree with the fact that like YouTube is really like geared towards English speakers because I mean as someone who like speaks a second language and uses that platform fairly often, I can say that there is, although okay, Japanese YouTube is fucking insignificantly tiny compared to like English speaking YouTube, but it's still definitely a platform that widely exists.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I mean, you're right. You're right. I guess I guess what I really meant was that I primarily watch English speaking videos. It definitely is true that there are other videos spoken in different languages. And I say this because sometimes I get recommended videos that like are like Russian and shit. I'm like, huh? The fuck?
The fuck?
So like, yeah, that definitely is true.
Yeah, although like it's just that English speaking YouTube is just so much bigger that like it can kind of seem that way sometimes. Like if you look at the top 100 YouTube channels, fucking 90 of them are going to be English speaking ones.
Yeah, it's true. But like, yeah, that was the thing that sold me. But now apparently VTubers are like the fucking hot shit. Like they're extremely popular now, and it makes me
Yeah.
angry. Like it fucking awakens that elitist side of me where I want everything to be obscure. Even though VTubers, when I started watching them, they were not actually obscure. They were just kind of obscure in the West. Like not a lot of people know about them. Like
Yeah.
I think the only person
Ca-
people knew about it was fucking what's her name? I think it's like Kizuna Ai. Like that's like the only person
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
were aware of. Like Hololive
Yeah.
was really not that big when I started watching it.
God, what's the deal with Kizuna Ai or whatever her name is? Like, is she a part of Hololive?
No, she's not. She's I don't know what agency in specific she is, but yeah, she's been around, and it's weird because she for the long I think even like no to this day actually her like the technology behind like the work environment she's in and just the overall production quality is a lot higher than most of like virtual reality agencies networks you see, like not just Hololive but also Nichi Sanji and stuff. Like watch
Yeah.
videos from like Kizuna Eye, they're like pretty high production. And I think this was I don't know exactly why, but I assume it's because, you know, back then if you were going to make a channel dedicated to like an anime girl speaking live, you know, at the time they probably wanted to leave like a strong impression, so much so that they put a lot of like effort into the production so that people can get a lot more immersed in it. But then, you know, a couple of years ago, there was this 2D live technology that got released to the public and became very accessible to the point where smaller companies were more able to start agencies dedicated to virtual reality, and just like that, it eventually grew, you know. And I think that's kind
Yeah.
of why Hololive and Nichisanji VTubers are usually don't look as good as Kizuna Eye.
Yeah. Okay. I just thought of a fucking great idea. What if you made like those like videos that kind of like document the history on things on the internet that would like talk about how things come up? What if you made one of those like big videos on like VTubers and shit? Like I'd watch that.
I'm sure someone will eventually make it. One video I do actually want to make that's related to not just actually primarily Hololive, to be honest, because it's actually the idea of content creation. Because here's the thing, Hololive has always been like an interesting thing for me because of the fact that, for one, it's a quasi idol agency, and it's also a network that has a lot of content creators that primarily stream. These are two things that I have almost no real interest in. Like I don't really care about let's plays and stuff. And it was one of those things where I eventually just came to enjoy because of the fact that I was interested in watching this type of content. Now, granted, I do still prefer the kinds of videos where they collab with each other and stuff. I think those are the ones that are the most interesting to watch than the Let's Plays, at least. Unless the Let's Plays are also like collaborations. But I mean, if they're just talking to each other, those are usually like my favorite ones. The ones where they're just talking, they're having like a conversation and stuff. But what I eventually came to realize was that while they did make this type of content, and even on some level I did eventually grow to like appreciate it, at the same time, they're not just streamers. They're also creating other stuff, you know, like they're producing music, they're getting like sponsored deals with other companies and stuff. Like their content creation doesn't just stop at streaming. And this is actually one of the reasons why I eventually got inspired to even write books, because I looked at some of these people, like there are some VTubers who are like manga artists and stuff. More specifically, illustrators. There is one that's a mangaka, but I don't know how often she like releases manga, but whatever. Some of them are illustrators. Some of them like play the piano. Some of them are musicians. And I look at these people, and they're like creating like seriously like a artistically driven content, while also streaming and stuff. And to me, seeing that was interesting because they were essentially in the same like field of profession that I was, but they were doing a lot more to create like real, like, I don't want to say real art, but I think you kind of get what I mean. And so that to me was very inspiring, because they were like these people, like they worked their ass off. Like I know for a fact, like I know how much time they spend streaming. I know how much time they like, well, maybe not specifically how much time they spend like on other projects, but based on the amount of effort they put on like streaming, and also my vague idea of how long it would take for some of the stuff they create to like would take for them to be done. Like I know these people are working hard to achieve like stuff that they want. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I have to do my part too, you know? And so I kind of want to make a video about that, kind of explaining why Hololive was like so inspiring for me to pay attention to. But
fucking do it.
Yeah. It's basically
I did not expect you to come out here and tell me that VTubers are the reason you decided to fucking start writing.
No, but I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Like I know like 2 weeks ago, like you said that, I think you said that like the reason why I was learning Japanese was because of VTubers. And that is true. But it's not just because I want to listen to what they say. It's because they genuinely inspired me to work hard to achieve certain things. So yeah.
Damn, maybe I should start watching VTubers. Maybe it'd motivate me to get off my lazy ass and actually do something in my fucking life.
Who knows? That might actually happen. I don't know.
Fuck.
But yeah, it is what it is. A man, well, actually, it was a woman that once said this: "The otaku mind is very simple, but that simplicity can be good." And to me, the simplicity is basically
taco mind.
No, so otaku, not taco.
Oh, otaku. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
taco.
taco.
I was like, what?
Yeah. I think that was my fault. I think I pronounced it badly, but like, yeah. Sometimes the simplest goals are the ones you need.
Yep. Fuck, I have not done anything.
I mean, you have to like think, just think about this. I'm literally learning a language just to watch fucking 2D girls.
Yep.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's great. That's fucking great. Shut up.
I mean, I'm doing it.
Do it. Yeah, fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah. This stream has been going on for how long at this point? 3 hours? Yeah, 3 hours. I think I'm gonna end it right here. Whoever are these two viewers, I thank you for tuning in.
One of them is me.
Yeah, one of them is you. Yeah. This stream, I I was more active than usual. So who knows? I might clip a couple of things I said here to my second channel. So yeah, tune in for that.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye
Eh,
bye.
bye bye. Oh wait, I have to turn on